GTA 6 is right around the corner. As long as everything goes to plan, it will be releasing on November the 19th, which means we have less than 10 months now to play GTA 5 online for the final time. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but you're going to be playing the new game, I assume. So if you've never played before or just want to start a fresh playthrough to enjoy all the riches that Los Santos has to offer, then this is a perfect video to guide you how to make the best start possible. We're going to be getting you some good money makers, some great vehicles, and overall, just show you how to have a good time. Let's get started, shall we? So everyone, welcome to your 2026 guide to starting the new GTA character. Now, first of all, we're starting off in the character creator menu because the most important thing about this entire process is making your character look sexy as hell, or ugly, I don't know your preferences, but no, the most important thing is when you start, after making your character look however you want them to, you want to head down to your stats. Now, obviously, these stats are going to determine different things about your character. These can be leveled up in-game, however, some are much easier to level up than others, and some are much more important early game than others. So what I always recommend is that when you're in this screen, put your driving, as well as your shooting, and your flying as low as possible. Then you want to max out your stamina, you want to max out your stealth, lung capacity, and strength. In fact, even lung capacity you can probably put down and put strength up to max instead. That is how I'd allocate these. The reason why is that driving, flying, and shooting are very easy to level up as you do them quite often, and stamina is going to help you with an early time trial that's going to be able to get you $50,000 every single day, as well as strength, stealth, and lung capacity kind of being slower to level up. Obviously, this is personal preference, but if you want the best start to your account, you want to do this right away. And of course, you just go ahead and name your character, and then you can log into the beautiful world of GTA Online. He does not look very happy, does he? So luckily for us, we have spawned in the city, and we've already been given about $10,000 just from Rockstar. But even if you don't have this start at 10K, we're going to get you some real easy money real quick. So in the game, there are multiple different daily activities you can take part in that are going to give you some easy starter cash. One of them is very close to us right now. This is G is Cash, represented by this purple box on the minimap. This will be in the game every single day, and you can go to it and pick it up for some starter cash, ammo, snacks, and some RP. Now, the only thing is that we don't have a car right now, so we're going to go ahead and carjack one. This will probably get the cops on me, but oh well, this is Grand Theft Auto. What do you really expect? So we're just going to come over to this area, and you'll see on the minimap there is a gray circle indicating that G's Cash is somewhere within this area. I have a bad history of really struggling to find these crates, but luckily we found it pretty quickly today. And we've also been given a candy cane and a firework launcher because of the Christmas events that are currently going on. But we pick up G's Cash, and as you see in the top right, we're going to get $15,000 as well as some ammo, some snacks, and some RP to help us level up. So we're level 2 now. With that starter cash, we're going to go ahead and visit the nearest gun store, which for us is right down here. Now, you don't need to go too crazy here because we're going to be buying some better weapons later, but I would recommend you get some armor, and I already have 10 of each. Okay, this sometimes happens. It's a glitch where you sometimes get 10 of each. Otherwise, just buy 10 super heavy armor and try and restock it as often as possible. But the weapons we're going to go ahead and buy straight away is going to be a special carbine for 15K. We can go ahead and stock up on that ammo. And then really the only other thing I'm going to go ahead and get straight away is I'm going to go for the sawed-off shotgun. One of these two should be free for most people, so you can go ahead and get one of those. Now, you might have noticed we don't have a suppressed weapon yet, but that's not important until some later missions, so don't worry about it right away. Next up on the agenda is going to be this BMX time trial. Like I was mentioning with the stamina, this is why you need higher stamina right away. Doing these BMX time trials can be a little bit tricky early on, but you're always able to do it. Just the higher stamina you have, the easier it will be. Now, unfortunately, this is one of the more difficult ones in the game, so I'm gonna have to lock in here. But again, it's all possible. I'm sure you can go ahead and look up a guide on YouTube if you want something more slowed down and informative. But in general, ride as fast as you can, try not to fall off, and you should be able to complete this within a few attempts. And there we go, managed to finish it on the first attempt, and we get $51,000. Now, once you complete those two things, you'll have enough money to go ahead and get your starter vehicle and garage. Now, for a lot of people, these are going to be free. I believe if you have expanded and enhanced or the criminal enterprise starter pack, these are always going to be free for you. But if not, now's the time where you can go ahead and buy them. So you can go ahead and get this garage unit. And then on top of that, I would highly recommend that every single person watching this video goes ahead and buys the Duke O Death, which is in war stock for for free. One of the best vehicles in the game, very armored, not completely, but good enough for most missions, and it's just kind of a beast. Now, once you've bought that, what you can do is go to your preferences, switch your spawn location to your garage, and switch to a new invite-only session. 1, it's faster. 2, no griefers, so that's nice. And this will actually cut down the amount of time it takes for your vehicle to be delivered, and it will be done instantly. So as soon as you spawn in here, you have a brand new vehicle to take out on the prowl. Now, next up, I'd recommend you coming over here to the movie studio. It is right here on the map, and this will start you off on a little treasure hunt that will get you a bit of cash as well, which is something you can do passively in the background while you move on to doing the other missions I'm about to get into. So you come into this room, there's been a crime scene. Oh no, some movie props have been stolen. Very tragic. Then you want to leave, and right outside here on the left is the first one of the 10 movie props. This little reel here with some film in it. Now, you can return these one by one and get money, or you can return them all at once. It's really up to you. But we're going to go ahead and get started with some of these movie props. 2 of them, well, I guess 3 of them, including that one, are down here in Los Santos. So the next place we want to go ahead to is everybody's favorite, or I can't remember what it is, strip club. There it is. So once we get in here, you're going to want to make sure to have some cash in your actual cash account, not your bank account. And you're going to want to go up to your favorite fine lady and ask her for a dance. Now, don't worry, we're not getting any action today. I will stay a virgin forever. We just need to get access to the back rooms here. So you come through this curtain. Instead of going left, you want to head in here into this back office, and you can see the second movie prop, this ball thing. I imagine it's this one's equivalent of like a Golden Globe or something. Now we can move on to the third prop, which is located at the Diamond Casino. Now, this also gives us the opportunity to do a wheel spin, which has the opportunity to get us some good rewards as well. So nice to get this out of the way nice and early. Now, once you're done with the intro cutscene, you're going to want to come down here, and in this restroom, you will find another movie prop. And then on the way out, if the country you live in allows you to gamble, you can come on over to this big wheel, buy a membership for $500, and spin the wheel. Also, you'll get an extra 5k just for registering, so that is nice as well. But on this wheel, there's a few good things you can win. There's a few bad things you can win. Hopefully we get the car. That'd be cool. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though. We are going to end up with the mystery prize. Oh, what is it going to be? I got an Obey 9F Cabrio. I mean, I'm not going to complain. that makes this level 1 video a little bit more lucky on my end, but hey, suck it. I'm joking. I hope you get the good car as well. I wish you the best. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get my Obey 9F Cabrio. It's completely fine to keep driving around the Duke of Death. It's a very good vehicle and will be used in a lot of missions. But I want to use my winnings because I feel like I deserve it. But now, after we complete that, we're going to be moving up to Sandy Shores. And along the way, there are a few more things we can do. First of all is the Stash House, which is another one of those daily events similar to G's Cash, similar to the BMX time trial. And if you go ahead and do the Stash House before you own any businesses, you are guaranteed to receive $30,000. So it's another good thing to do very early on in your account. And the Stash House is relatively simple. Just go into this room here that's highlighted with the purple marker, take out the enemies, and then you need to just unlock this safe. There will be a note around here somewhere that tells you the code. So this one, it is 442337, 442337, 442337. There we go. And once you grab the goods, you're going to want to run upstairs and then just leave the area. And there we go, another 30,000 in the bank. From here, we can go on to, I believe it is this house, or at least a house very close to here, where there is another one of those movie props. Sorry, no, not this one. Definitely not that one. Yep, it's the next house over. So if we just rock up here, there'll be a giant head, which is, I don't know, a little bit concerning, and you can pick that up. And then we're going to be making our way across the map to this area over here roughly, and the movie prop for this location will be right at the top. So just go on and drive up this hill here, and you will see a head from the movie Aliens or Predator. I can't remember which one's which, but it's basically that thing. Now there's only 2 more movie props that we can get in a static location. There are technically 3 more, but they appear as random events across the map and are a bit more irritating to get to. But the last 2 we can get right now are in the military base and in the Ultrist camp up here. So we're going to make our way over there and then probably call back our Duke of Death because we're definitely going to have some people shooting at us in a second. Now to get into the military base, at least for this movie prop, you're going to want to come in through the back entrance as it is much closer to the building we need to go to. So you want to come in here, quickly turn to the right, try not to die, drive in here. I'd recommend turning your car around so the side you get into to drive is closest to this door. Then all you need to do is run in here, grab this movie prop, and then you can go ahead and leave straight away. Now, unfortunately, we're too low of a level to call Lester to get the cops off of us, so we're just gonna have to survive and hope for the best. Actually, you know what? Screw the tunnel. There's a much better alternative. Make sure to put your money in your bank so you don't lose any, and then instead of waiting to lose the cops, you can just go ahead, get out of your car, make sure to return your vehicle to storage so the cops don't take it, and let them kill you. This will get the cops off of you, and as long as your vehicle managed to return to storage in time, which it did, you can go ahead and call it back right away. Fortunately for us, we've spawned kind of up here already, so hopefully we can call in our vehicle. Nope, I'm too far from a road. Of course I am. Well, I'm going to have to hope that this counts as a road enough, otherwise we're going to be up here without a plan, and it does count as a road. Fantastic. Oh, never mind. It just spawned my car down there. Well, we're going to go on a solo mission without a vehicle. The Ultras camp is right up here, and the prop is at the very peak of it. Now, if you do have your vehicle, it's better just to drive there, but I'm going to take this on in the more annoying way because my mechanic doesn't understand how roads work, apparently. Yeah, you see that big cliff? That's where I need to get to without dying. I do believe, though, you can just walk up the side here. Now, unfortunately, the Ultraists are going to shoot at you as soon as they notice you, so you kind of need to be as sneaky as possible, which is a little bit difficult when you have low stealth and no suppressors. But if you just jump around here, you should be able to climb up, collect this horrendous piece of artwork, whatever the hell it's supposed to be. And then honestly, you can just let them kill you. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. And with that, we have gotten the 7 movie props that we can get relatively easily. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is set my spawn location. It's already at the garage. I'm going to head back there and we can turn those in for $70,000. So all we need to do is come back to the movie studio, walk on up, and we should get our reward. Now, of course, we do have 3 more to get. And like I said, they are random events that appear around the map. Now, you can use a GTA Online interactive map to find these. The rough locations, I believe, are around this part of the map here, sort of close to this Cayo Perico start point. There's also one over this side of the map near the Darnell Bros headquarters area in a rough circle, and then the final location is up in Palito Bay. If you get a blue marker on your map when you're in any one of these areas, make sure to go check. It should be some sort of vehicle with a weird prop in the background. All you need to do is bring them back to this garage here, and then once you collect all 10, you get an extra bonus. But for now, we're going to leave it at that and move on to our first mission set, which is going to be the first dose missions for Dax. So here we are at the location to start up the first dose missions. We're going to have to go through a pretty lengthy cutscene, but then after that, we can get into the first mission. And doing these missions very early on, I believe, is extremely important as they give you access to multiple useful things, including a way to upgrade your weapons to Mark II, as well as being able to purchase some weapons that you're not able to otherwise. You also get access to one of the best passive money makers in the entire game, alongside this mission set paying you out a good amount as well. And then finally, you get access to the last dose missions, which after completing those, give you access to a very good vehicle. So all in all, doing the Dax content early on in your account is definitely a must. Now, this is why we bought these weapons early on in the account. There's a lot of combat in this mission, but once we finish it, we will have access to some better weapons that are going to help us a lot later on. And luckily, Rockstar made a change a few years ago that means whenever you start up a new mission, your snacks actually refill. Your body armor doesn't though, so you need to make sure to purchase that, but your snacks will automatically be full, so you don't have to go into your agency or Simeon's dealership to go ahead and get more of those. You're just good whenever you start up a new mission. All right, and once that section's over, you want to come down here, steal one of the vehicles they have laying around, and head on over to the other side of the lake. There's a bunch of boats you can choose to pick up, but I always go for this one. And then once you're here, all you need to do is fight through a few enemies to recover the journey. Now that we've collected it, we're just going to drive back to Dax and then drive to the freak shop, and that's the end of the mission. And there we have it. Mission done. So we're going to get $18,000 for that, and then we're going to get another $50,000 as a first-time bonus, which you can see right there. Now, with that money, alongside the money we grinded out a bit earlier with the movie props and stash houses and all that jazz, we can come into here, into the freak shop, and into this weapon workshop. Now, we're going to be able to buy some really useful weapons here. First of all, the number one thing I'd recommend you all buy is the Combat MG for 14.8k. This is one of the best weapons in the entire game, and once we get enough money, we're going to be upgrading this to the Combat MG Mark II, which is probably just the best single gun in the game. But for now, we're just going to have it by itself. Probably go ahead and get extended clip, a grip and a scope so you're able to zoom in on it. On top of that, I'd highly recommend the heavy sniper. This will also be upgraded to Mark II in the future, but for now, we're going to just keep it how it is. And then on top of that, I'd recommend going ahead and getting the pump shotgun. Again, another Mark II upgradable weapon, but for now, it is just a very good to have. And then also, probably about time we go ahead and get a good suppressed weapon. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the special carbine, which we already have, as well as getting an extended clip on this too. And now that our weapons are sorted for the near future, we can go ahead and continue and probably just straight up finish up the Dax first dose missions. So he's going to give us a ring in a second, and we can start up the second one right here. All right, there's the call for Dax, and we can go ahead and continue. So we can simply come on over here, steal the nearest truck, collect the supplies, or try to. There we go. Ditch the supplies when they catch on fire, call back your personal vehicle, kill a bunch of Lost. And honestly, the easiest way to do it is just to drive all the way up here with your Duke of Death, get out around the corner so you don't get shot instantly. Oh no, he's getting out the wrong side. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you stupid idiot. You big stupid idiot. Why would you get out that side? That is crazy. And now we can head inside. Whenever you go indoors in GTA, I'd recommend using first person as it just makes it easier. And a shotgun's always a good choice. Then once you take care of these guys, you can go ahead and take a photo of the Lost's plans, collect their ganja, and then get back in your Duke of Death and head back to the freak shop. Now, after that mission, you should have enough money to go ahead and upgrade your combat MG to a Mark II weapon, and I'd recommend doing this straight away. Even though we're back down under 30k again, I cannot understate or overstate, or whatever word I'm supposed to use, how good this weapon is. It is absolutely incredible, and we can go ahead and get a grip, which puts us back down to 8k, but we're going to be getting money back from these missions very quickly anyways, so it's not too much of a problem. And right on cue, we can move on to the third first dose mission. Now, this mission is significantly easier when you have explosives such as the railgun, RPG, homing launcher, or even just sticky bombs, which I don't have on this account currently, which is probably a missed call from me. You can still get away with just using your Mark II combat MG, blowing up the explosive barrels next to things, and just killing people whenever they spawn. All you need to do is get that property damage bar to max, and you can move on to the next part of the mission. Also, make sure to blow up any of these big green barrels you see, as well as these big orange ones. Now, just remember, the Duke of Death is not completely armored, so you still get shot a bit, so you just got to be careful. Drive away a bit, make sure to restore your health and body armor as often as possible. Definitely a bit slower on a lower level account, but it's definitely still doable. In fact, I'm probably going to get out of my car here and start to mow them down with the combat MG, because I do actually have the sticky bombs and stuff. I kind of didn't think I did. I guess I was lying. I'm sorry. I apologize. Grenades always a great way to go on these missions as well. Just throw them about. And there we go. And once you get over to Miller's Fishery, I kind of recommend going in the back entrance here, which is not really an entrance, it's just me jumping in. But instantly, you want to walk down to this room here. All you're doing here is stealing some METH drugs. 2 of them are always going to spawn down in this room, and then the others are scattered around the fishery. So there are 2 in here. There's 1 here. 1 here. 2 more here. And then the final 2 are down on the dock. I'm not entirely sure if they always spawn in the same spots every single time, but they're pretty highlighted and easy to see. And once you collect all 10, you just need to hop inside this plane and fly back to the freak shop. Alright, landed in the storm drain, definitely on a angle that a plane should be landing on, and that is mission done. And we're going to move straight on to the 4th mission, as this is kind of I don't even know what to call it, it's a meme mission. There's not really any challenge or combat, it's just sort of a drug trip. So it's not really that difficult. So here we are in the mission, if you can even really call it a mission. There's not really much guidance I can give you here. Just follow Dax, deal with the weird stuff, and hopefully come out the other side. Oh, can we land in the pool? Nope, I missed. Oh well. Well, there we go. Trip survived. $14,000 for doing that. Not going to complain, are we? And now, just before heading back to the freak shop, we're going to go to ammunition to pick up a rocket launcher, as for the next mission, it will probably be kind of useful. So, 75k for a homing launcher, get some ammo, and I'm also going to go ahead and pick up a micro SMG, as it is a better weapon to use when I'm driving in my car. And with that, we can move on to the penultimate first dose mission. So, to start off with this mission, we need to head over to the hippie camp and take out some of their lab equipment. And people as well. That was also a nice thing to do. I like coming in the back entrance like I just did there, because it's much quicker, and you can just drive over here. All you need to do is get out, throw a sticky bomb or 2 in each of these tents. Try not to do that. Try to not kill yourself in the process. That's typically not very productive. Maybe park your car a little further away from the explosives. Might be a good idea. All right, let's try that again. Throw a sticky bomb in there, blow up the lab, move on to the next one. And there we go. All the labs are destroyed. Now we just need to find one of their vehicles to hop into, one of their vans. So just hop in one of these, you'll get some GPS locations. You can hop out straight away, get back in your Duke of Death or preferred vehicle of transport. And we simply need to go ahead and blow up 3 of these cars. All right, there's one done. There's another one. And there's number 3. Good use for the homing launcher. And then finally, we're coming back up to the Ultras camp for the second and hopefully last time for today. Similarly to before, we just need to destroy 3 vehicles and then at the end, a Valkyrie. Now, the way I like to do it is to come all the way up to the back here and then slowly take people out. Try and stay inside your car as much as possible, but if you need to get out to blow something up, then I recommend you do so. And then once the chopper gets here, I need to be very careful because I'm very close to dying, but I should be able to get out in time and homing launcher it. There we go. And now all we have to do is leave the Ultras camp. Best way to do that is probably just to drive on down here. And that should be the mission complete. Now you can go ahead and set your spawn point back to the freak shop, teleport back there with the session switch, and then you can get started on the finale. So here we go. First dose, mission 6 off the rails. We're going to be stealing an acid lab, which is going to be one of the best passive money makers in the entire game. And on top of that, we're going to get a good amount of cash just for completing this mission set. Okay, I was gonna say once you get to Humane Labs, you can do this stealthily or not. I was gonna try and do it stealthily, but I kind of forgot to brake as early as I should have. So we're doing this aggressive. Oh well, it's not too much more difficult from memory. Let's just drive straight to the end here, get out here, and we're just gonna have to survive a massive horde of enemies. In my defense, guys, in my defense, I have not done these missions in like a year. So yeah. All right, once you get to the hacking tool, go ahead and use it, and then you're inside and safe from the enemies, at least the ones outside. There are more inside, obviously. All right, cool. And now we need to find their stock intel, which should be around here somewhere. Although saying that, I am struggling to find it for some reason. Oh, no, we found it. There we go. Cool. So take a photo of that, send it off to Dax, kill the guard disturbing my peaceful looting session. He nearly killed me. Oh my god. And then we just got to go ahead and steal the chemicals from these crates. Now, once you're done, shoot the panel, head outside, and this is probably going to be a little bit more difficult for me considering the aggressive. Holy shit, that's a lot of guards. Hello, guys. How we doing? All right, let's hope I get back in my car in time. Get in, please. Thank you. Now we just got to head to that switching station. All right, go ahead and switch the tracks. Kill these guys. Take the cutting saw, and then head on over to the crash site. Now, this part of the mission's a little bit tricky. I'd recommend taking out this helicopter before you get into the actual combat area. And it missed, of course it did. It missed again? Oh, really now? Okay, that's cool. Now, I personally recommend staying inside your Duke of Death or Armored Crew if you have that for as much as possible, but obviously you do need to get out to collect the chemicals. Now, don't quote me on this, but I believe there's only 1 chemical per section until the final where there is 2. So I want to see if that is correct. So there's none there, which means there is definitely going to be 1 in here. There we go. Now another helicopter is spawned, which is annoying for us. It's quite far away, so I'll leave it for now. And I'm going to start working on these crates. Okay, helicopter's there. Can we free aim it? Yes, we can. Lovely. Pick up this item. Move on to the next crates. Another helicopter spawned because they just keep respawning, honestly. Nothing much you can do about it. Free aim again. Nope, I missed. That's great. There we go. Getting a little bit intense. Okay, that's why I recommend you stay inside the Duke of Death. I don't know why I'm not listening to my own advice, to be honest with you. Another thing I'll mention is that when you are a lower level in GTA Online, you do have less max health. So if you were to do this on a level 50 character, it's going to be a lot easier than on a level 16. So that also adds to the difficulty. Now I just got to be really careful not to die at all. All right, there we go. Another one of the chemicals. And if my memory's correct, the last 2 should be in these 2 crates. Okay, never mind. I was incorrect. Do not listen to me. I mean, this is a guide, so I mean, I guess you should listen to me, but don't listen to me on this. So it's this one where there are 2 of them. All right, well that just leaves 1 more. There we go. And then we can go ahead and steal the Brigade 6x6, which becomes our acid lab once we finish this mission. And there we go, the first dose missions have now been completed. There's only a couple more things we need to do to set up the acid lab completely, and then it'll become one of the best money makers in the game. And of course, we get that massive first time completion bonus, so we're over $300,000 once again. Now, to go ahead and set up the acid lab, we have to go ahead and steal supplies from one of these 3 locations. I'm just going to go ahead and go to this one. Doesn't really make a difference, to be honest. So we just want to come on in here, take out these guys. Doesn't really matter if you do it stealthily or not. I failed it anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And then we just simply need to get into the forklift and put these supplies onto that truck over there. This is definitely a little bit annoying. I'm not forklift certified in real life and probably shouldn't be in game either because I'm pretty bad at using it at times. As you can see, you basically just want to get a straight run up, and then that should be fast enough. Lower it down and then see, I'm bad at doing this. This is really one of the most irritating mechanics in the game. Forklifts, oh, they just kind of suck. I never know how to do them correctly because like that should be it, but he's not on there. Like, what am I, like, okay, I need a tutorial for this. I know I'm the one doing the guides, but how? How do you do this? Like seriously? There we go. But after you do that, some enemies can spawn in again. Just gotta deal with them. And then continue with your forklift work. And now we just get to peacefully drive back. Oh, sorry, not peacefully. It's never peaceful in GTA. Ever. Now with that delivered, the acid lab is nearly ready to be set up. However, we need to pay $750,000, which as you can see, we do not currently have. And then on top of that, to make it as profitable as it can be, you need to go ahead and do 10 Fulgrim jobs, which have a cooldown of 48 minutes. So it is going to take a little bit longer to get this thing up at maximum capacity. However, we're going to go ahead and move on to some other missions that are going to help us get that 750k that we need. And that thing is the Cluckin farm raid. Now, in all honesty, there's a couple of things you can do at this point in your account. This, for the longest time, was one of my go-tos for early money makers, but in the most recent DLC, the KnoWay missions have been put into the game, and they are started by going to this A on the map and following whatever Avi Schwartzman tells you to do. Now, the KnoWay Out missions are actually better than the Cluckin in terms of pure money per hour if you can grind them. However, I think they are a little bit more difficult, and if you're just starting out GTA, the Cluckin farm raid is probably the easier way to go for some starter cash. So that's what we're going to be going ahead and doing. All you need to do is come over to the Vespucci police station on this side of the map, walk into this yellow circle, watch a little cutscene, and then you'll get started with this, not heist. It's not a heist, but it kind of feels like one. It's a raid. It's called the raid. Let's call it the raid. So the first mission is pretty simple. You're going to be going to 2 different locations, stealing some money, killing some enemies, and delivering it back to the lockup. Really not too tough. So you're going to want to just come over here, kill the guys outside, and then head into where you're going to be stealing some cash from some laundry machines. Kill that guy, and then just steal the loot from the washing machines, and then rinse and repeat with the other location. I usually find this spot a little bit harder, but as long as you stay in your vehicle and take out the enemies outside, it's pretty easy. Then same again, steal the money, and we're good to finish the mission. And just like that, mission 1 completed. Now, unlike the first dose missions, you're not really going to be getting first-time bonuses and a lot of cash after each individual mission. Instead, you'll get one big payout at the end. Completing this for the first time will grant you $750,000, and then each time after that will be another 500k. So it's definitely worth doing early on for that extra bonus, but in general, also just a very good money maker if you get bored of grinding out the actual heists in the game. But yeah, as soon as you finish the mission, all you need to do is drive back down to that police station, and once Vincent calls you, you can get started with the next mission. So here we go into the second mission. Call Vincent, set up, breaking, and entering. Now for this mission, we're first going to need to go ahead and get a laptop at the pier, then head over to this terabyte, and once we get the hacking device from there, we're going to head down and steal a train. So once you get down here to the pier, you're going to want to take the first left, and once you get inside, you're going to want to find a guy who is standing near a laptop. Now the easiest way to do this is just get out your gun and start shooting around, and eventually a red dot on the minimap will show up. Kill that guy, and then remember where exactly he showed up. For me, he was at this arcade machine, and the laptop you need to pick up is right here. I believe there are about 8 or 10 different locations he can spawn within this dock pier area. Just keep an eye out, or you can go online and look at what locations there are. Now next up, we're heading to the terabyte. This can spawn in one of 3 locations, and all you need to do is drive around to it, shoot down some drones with your best weapon, which if you've been following the video should be the Mark II combat MG. They'll spawn in a few times, and the final ones that spawn in will dive bomb you a little bit, so just be careful. If you have low health in your account, it may be a little bit risky. Okay, I keep auto-aiming onto the incorrect one. That's really helpful, game. Thank you. Once they're dead, head inside a terabyte, come around to the left here, picking up this hacking device, and... oh, I didn't pick it up. You actually have to press right on the D-pad. And now we head down to the docks. If possible, I'd recommend just stay inside your car the entire time while doing this part of the mission until you have to go collect the keys. If you're competent and sexy like me, you can get a headshot on every single person and make it very easy for yourself. Yeah, just go around the side here, kill everyone until you get a key pickup, and then you can go ahead and steal the train. There we go. So I'm just going to take that. Don't die, hopefully. Kind of close. Then just drive back around and hijack the train. Now all you need to focus on is keep the train moving, click left on your D-pad whenever, or sorry, right on the D-pad. I know my left and right. When you get into one of the red circles on your map, and do your best not to die. You can try and shoot these guys. You can also not shoot them and just keep your health and ammo, your snacks out and heal yourself. Really up to you. Just don't die. And then once you get into the tunnel, mission will be over and we can move on to mission number 3. Third mission, which is concealed weapons. Now in both this mission and the one afterwards, you're going to be given 3 locations for tiers of weapons and vehicles. I will always recommend go to location A for both. It is the worst set of gear for both weapons and vehicles. However, they're still good enough. They are much faster to get, and overall, I think they're just easy. So if you come to this location with me, all you need to do is park your car here, get out a suppressed weapon. Honestly, you're going to be doing this aggressive in a few seconds anyway, so even if you don't have a suppressor, it's fine. I just like taking out these 2 guys suppressed. Then after that, I personally prefer to throw sticky bombs into this backyard. Try not to throw it too close to these cars, otherwise it can mess up the mission. And then basically just kill all the enemies until you are done with them. And there we go. Now we check all of these cars for the loot. Okay, my character's being mentally ill again. He did this in a recent video. Okay, only took 2 times though. I think last time there was like 5 attempts to open the boot. But there's the first bit of loot, and then the second bit is this crate here. Once you have this, drive back to the lockup, and that is the 3rd mission complete. Only thing you're gonna do is text Vincent that you want to use this gear, and then you're done. Now, like I said, this mission is pretty much the exact same idea. Drive to location A, steal a car, and then we're going to be taking it up to Perico Bay rather than back here this time. All right, so this is going to be pretty easy, even though Vincent makes it sound like they're better now for some reason. All you need to do, kill that guy, shoot this gray box on the top right of the garage, and then you can go in and grab your car. There's also one of 3 vehicles that can spawn. This van is sort of the mid-range one. There's a better car and there's a worse car. The worst car is called the Tulip. I've talked about it in multiple videos. It is horrendously bad, but not bad enough that it will fail you the mission. Well, actually, no, it has done that to me once, but don't worry about it. It's fine. You'll be fine. I like to come around to this bridge and then instantly go up here onto the train tracks. You can follow these all the way to Perico Bay. The enemies won't be able to get you, and there are no trains that come, so it's pretty much the easiest way to get there. The reason why the other car, the Tulip, is so bad is that when driving on the rails, it bounces around like a kid on crack, and it has bounced so much that it threw me off the bridge into the water before. You just gotta drive it really slow, basically. But yeah, once you drive all the way up here, just smash through the fence, and if your car is all good and dandy, you can drive it into this garage, text Vincent, and then that is the mission complete. Well, you have to leave the area, but yeah, you know what I mean. And now we're on to the final setup mission before the finale. This one is definitely the most complicated of all the setup missions, but I'll show you a way to do it pretty easily. So first of all, you're just gonna want to drive down here where Vincent tells you, and you need to start hacking these trucks, these vans here, I guess. Just run up to them. You can honestly hit them. Don't hit them over though, because if they land on their back and blow up, the mission will fail. But just to give them a good rough housing, hack them, and then we can move on to the next one. Now, one of the vans is going to have outfits that Vincent tells you to grab to make stealth easier. You don't really need to be grabbing them. They don't make much of a difference, and you can do the stealth section without them quite simply. So yeah, just block them in. Don't die though. Obviously, they can shoot you. And then after that, you'll be given a location of a garage to go to. Okay, now once you arrive at one of the 3 garage locations, can you tell there's a running theme of there being 3 different things per mission in this raid? Yeah, it's quite a thing. Once you arrive in here, there's a stealth section. Now, the thing about the stealth section is that it's very, very forgiving. If you mess up, you can still complete it stealthily, and I'll sort of show you that in a second, but I'm going to show you how you're supposed to do it, like, intentionally. So come down here, make sure you're in sneak. First of all, kill this guy on the left. Then you want to walk over and kill this guy that's on this van here, or truck. I don't know why I keep calling trucks vans and vans trucks. I'm just vehicle blind. Yeah, then you want to disable this one first. Then you can start to move your way to the middle of the pack. I personally like killing this guy now, then disabling this truck. Then after that, wait for this guy to not be in sight of that camera there. You can then just about shoot his head over that box there. You can kill this guy here, kill the guy in the room, and then finally destroy the camera. Now, there's only really 2 more guys here that are a problem, these 2. And now, the only 2 guys left at the moment are in these 2 rooms here. So, typically what you would do is go in and kill both of them stealthily, and then start drilling at security lockboxes to get a key card. But I want to show you, just in case you fail the stealth section, how to do it. So, let's say I start shooting a non-suppressed weapon. Say you don't have a suppressor, and I just go crazy. Oh my god. they're gonna hear me. But you can see there on the bottom right, it says take out witnesses. As long as you kill everyone before that bar hits 0, you will be able to do this mission in stealth. So I'm gonna just run around, kill that guy too, and come in here and kill this guy. And now that all the witnesses are dead, even though we broke stealth, even though we used a non-suppressed weapon, the finale will be in stealth mode as long as we do the rest correctly. So pick up that drill there, then come inside here and start drilling at these lockers looking for a keycard. There we go. Now, before you leave, there is 2 more things you need to do. You need to come into this room and wipe the CCTV footage. If you forget to do this, the heist, the raid, sorry, will be in aggressive and will be a little bit harder. So make sure you do this. And then, of course, you need to finish disabling the final 2 trucks, and then you are good to go. Now, of course, if you want to do the raid in aggressive mode, come in here, start firing explosives, and just don't care about the trucks or anything, and you can get it done way faster. But stealth is a much better way to do this raid, and you can change to aggressive later if you do want to. But now that we're out of there, we're gonna walk down this alley, pick up a truck, and drive it back to the lockup. All right, it's finale time. Same spot as usual. Vincent, please don't leave me hanging. Thank you, my guy. Now, this finale is quite simple, but also quite easy to mess up. So just follow my lead and hopefully you'll be able to do it correctly. Personally, I like going in first person, but it's up to you, personal preference. If you want to go stealth, I mean, you don't have to, but it's, you know, makes it a bit safer. Kill that guy first, then kill the guy on the left, then kill the guy on the right. Next up, you need to shoot this panel to unlock the door. Go through as fast as possible, and instantly you're going to want to kill the guy that's standing there. After that, come through, kill the guy on your left, as well as these 2 guys standing here. And try not to miss as much as I did. Then you can very slowly sneak up. You can kill this guy, and then you need to kill his friend on the right here. And try not to miss as many shots as I did. Now, you would have seen 2 guys here walk into the room on the left. We can go ahead and take care of them now as well. So just be careful not to alert them with your footsteps. Come in through here. I like killing this guy on the left first with a headshot. Always do headshots if possible. Then kill the guy in the middle. Now you're just going to want to wait because there'll be 1 guy that walks into this hallway. So just give it a few seconds. This guy will walk in here and we can kill him. About there. Now we're pretty much safe until we walk into the further rooms, but first we have to go into here to steal some of the good. So down the stairs, kill the guard, kill the cooks, I guess. Yeah, it's cooking. Is it still cooking when it's this? I don't know. Kill them and then loot everything you can. Once you're done with that, go back up the stairwell and we're going to enter into another separate area. Just through on the right here and then into this big garage. 2 more guys to kill, 1 on the right and 1 on the left. Now, if you picked location A for the weapons, you won't need to pick up a crowbar, but there's also a crowbar on this crate here, which you will need to open up these boxes. Now, the loot will always be in the furthest 2 from the door, so they're the only ones you need to check. And now we can move on to the final room. Also, watch out for a key on the map. You'll see it, that white logo there. You want to pick these up so you don't mess up the stealth section later in the run. But yeah, walk through here now, and you need to time these kills correctly. I like to wait a bit longer, but I'm just going to be a little bit faster today and kill those guys like that. Now you can walk down here, kill this guy, kill this guy, and that guy. That was very close. Be a little bit less haphazard than I'm being a bit rushy at the moment. That was concerningly close. But now you can go ahead and hack the computer and forget about your past mistakes. And this will give you a hacking device where all you need to do is run up to these different computers around the factory and sync them up. So this first one, for example, at least when you're doing it stealth mode, is over here. The next one is going to be back here. And then the final one is this one in the middle. If you did it on aggressive mode, it will be different locations, but they're still pretty close by. Our code is 485144. 485144. 485144. There we go. Grab that bit of cash. Get your suppressed pistol back out. Shoot the electricity box. You're going to want to hug this wall on the right. Go behind this truck here. Turn to the right instantly. Kill this guy in front of you. Kill the guy by this car. Kill the guy by the garbage can, trash bin, rubbish disposal. Keep running, keep running, keep running. Kill the guy by this door here. Then I also like killing this guy here, but you got to wait for him to move a little bit because at the moment people can see him. Once he's about there, we should be fine to kill him. Now we can go into the garage, get our van, and drive back to Los Santos. Should also mention there is one final cop that is going to take post up here. He's not the biggest problem in the world, but killing him is always a good idea. So there we go. Now just follow the train tracks down all the way until you get to Sandy Shores. You can use the vehicle that you currently have from the raid. However, if you have a personal vehicle you would much prefer to use on the way back, you can go ahead and call it in. And in fact, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you just want to drive up here, and once you reach this white box house thing, request your personal vehicle. Rockstar must have changed this heist. I keep saying heist. This raid a little bit because the cop didn't used to spawn there before and see you. But it's not a big issue. You can still get inside your armored vehicle, get back on the tracks, and keep driving. You'll still end up losing the cops this way, just may take a little bit longer if you decide to stop like that. Now, once you get to here, you can choose to drive back along the road, but most likely cops are going to spawn, so I like going in sort of this off-road dirty area, driving along the hills until you lose the cops, then basically just head back to Vincent's lockup, and the heist will... Stop saying heist. It's not a heist, it's a raid. The raid will be over. Ow. And voila, the Cluckin farm raid has been completed for the first time. And this will grant us, like I mentioned earlier, $750,000. And there we go, the extra 250k, and that puts us back over $1 million. Which means now is as good a time as any to go ahead and buy the Acid Lab. Now, if I was purely speedrunning to buy a mansion or an Oppressor Mark II, like I've done multiple times on my channel, the Acid Lab is not something I would typically actually go ahead and buy, because it's more of a slow, passive moneymaker. I also just got an extra 300k for completing the weekly challenge, which I didn't even know was a challenge. Just to keep this video fair and useful for people in the future, I just went ahead and spent that 300k on clothing so it wouldn't interfere with the money making we've done so far. Although that does remind me, make sure to check the weekly challenges. You go to the interaction menu here, go challenges, and go weekly challenges. Often Rockstar will put in some sort of completion task that will give you a big reward like that. So if you don't know what to do when you're logging on for the day, that's a decent thing to check. But just for the sake of this video, I don't want to get an extra 300k, considering that might not be a challenge that people have in the future. But like I said, we can go ahead, go back to the freak shop and buy the Acid Lab, because while it's not a instant massive money maker like a Cayo Perico, it's something that's good to get set up now, mainly because of the way you upgrade this thing. So first of all, we're going to go over to Mutt here, install the Acid Lab for 750k, and now to upgrade it, we need to actually go ahead and do 10 Fooligan jobs. You can see right there, call Dax and complete 10 Fooligan jobs to unlock this for purchase, which will increase the production speed and the sale value of the Acid product. To make this one of the best passive money makers in the game, this upgrade is absolutely vital, and these Fooligan jobs are only able to be done once every 48 minutes. That's why it's so important to get started on them right away, so you can get them finished as soon as possible. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do now. Call up our boy Dax, do one of the Fooligan jobs, and then whenever it's on cooldown, we're going to go ahead and do 9 more of them. So you just need to request to work, and Dax will send you out to do some small little mission. And to be frank with you, these Fooligan jobs are not very fun and can be quite long and annoying. It's just something you really got to do to make the Acid Lab good, unfortunately. So for this one, we need to destroy the Merryweather targets carrying pharmaceuticals. Now, fortunately, Dax supplies you with a helicopter, which is going to make this faster, but still a long mission. Okay, what just happened? Did I blow myself up with my own chopper? Oh, there's air defenses. That makes more sense. The thing is with these missions, it's in the open world. I don't really care about how much I'm dying, so I'm just gonna go about this in the most brain-dead way possible, because these missions are annoying, and really that's the only way I can mentally deal with it. Ah, there we go. All right, let's get my car back, and we can leave. Whoa, hello there. They came out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. My god, these are some of the most unfun, unfair missions in the entire game. I've only done them once in my life because I've never wanted to upgrade the Acid Lab again because it's really annoying. This guy's just not... Like, how do I get rid of him? I don't know what to do. Not really sure how far I'm supposed to go to escape the reinforcements. I'm kind of on the other side of the map already. There we go. Hopefully that's it done. Oh no, they just spawned a bunch more enemies. That's really swell. I'm so glad that that happened. Yeah, that makes total sense, Rockstar. Thank you for Thank you for that. Really starting to question what the word escape means because I feel like I'm quite far away from their base of operations. No, this heli is still on me. Okay, dude must really like the way I look from behind. How do I get him to piss off? I don't really know what to do. I'm kind of running out of map to go away on. There's not much more of Los Santos I can go to. Dax, can I get a bit of help, my guy, please? All right, he's still here. Okay, that's cool, man. Okay, the helicopter has crashed and is probably going to explode. If you spawn another set of enemies, I'm going to lose it a little bit. Have I done it? Oh, the enemy's gone. Oh, my word. Oh, that took a long time. Thankfully, at least we get 50k from each one of those missions, so it makes up for some of the mental trauma, and then we can use that money later on to upgrade the acid lab to a more functioning acid lab, which is good. But yeah, those missions are not fun in any way. I think that's probably the worst of them. There's one that's arguably slower, but I think that's definitely the worst. Now, I will say, if you get a Fooligan job that you don't want to do, I'm pretty sure you can just switch sessions and then call for a different one. So that's always an option, but I just thought to play it because why not really? So of course, we still have 9 more Fooligan jobs to do before we can actually upgrade the acid lab, and I'm going to be doing the rest of those off camera just whenever they're on cooldown and I have the time to do so, and I'd recommend you do that as well. So if you see my level or cash go up randomly between missions, that's why. And you know what? Now that we're here, right next to the new KnoWay Out missions, we might as well get started with them. I want to do the last dose as well, which is the next set of the Dax missions we just did, but the icon has not popped up on my map yet where it should. So I'm kind of waiting on Dax to get his head into gear and ask me for that. But yeah, let's get started with the KnoWay Out missions, which are kind of the spiritual successor to the Cluckin farm raid. It's very similar in that you do a few setup missions and a big finale at the end, and you get a bunch of money. Kind of like a heist, but it's not a heist. Now, once you finish that introductory phone call, you're going to get another icon on your map up here, and this is where you're going to start the missions each time. At least, this is where you start the first mission each time. The second, third, fourth, and fifth mission all start in different locations. So it's actually been a couple of days between last clip and this clip, and as I would have just mentioned in the video in post commentary, I have a lot more money now because I've been doing some of those Dax Fooligan jobs. I think I've done around 6 of them, so only a few more until we get that acid lab up and ready. But now it is time to get into the Hi Dax, that was good timing from you. As I was about to say, now we're getting into the KnoWay missions, which are the newest mission set in the game and one of the best money makers. And I'm going to walk you through how to do them correctly so you get the biggest payout at the end. First of all, we need to talk to Avi at this phone booth right here on the map at the A for the first mission. Now, for all of these setup missions, you have the choice to do a difficulty as normal or hard. Hard gets you a little bit more cash, but personally, I just do them on normal. It's not significant enough of a difference in my opinion, and really this just makes it easier, although it's completely up to you. Apart from that, make sure to buy your body armor, fill up on ammo, and then you can get started. So after that cutscene is over, head on over to your nearest vehicle and drive over to where Avi tells you, the KnoWay Depot. Depot. We're going to go with Depot. So once you make your way over to the KnoWay Depot, and yes, I'm going to keep pronouncing it like that because hopefully people will comment that I'm pronouncing it wrong and get me engagement. You're going to want to head inside the garage here. Or the garage. Now, this is a stealth section. However, it doesn't really matter if you fail it. It makes it ever so slightly more difficult. But really, the way you want to do it, at least the way I found, is kill that guard first. Then kill these 2 guards in the middle. And then these 2 on the right. I'm good, don't worry. Then the guy in the back there. Then you can move on to this guy. Move into this next room. Kill the guy on the left first. Then this dude on the right. Then the guy on the computer. And then the guy walking. And then finally, you have 1 more dude waiting in this room. If you fail the stealth section, the only thing that happens is I think like 3 more guards spawn in this room. So don't stress about it too much. Now, what you want to do is put a sticky bomb on 3 of these vehicles. The ones I usually choose is that one in the back, this one on the left, and this one in front of you. Blow these up. And now, a little tip I learned from the comment section of my last video is you want to put a sticky bomb on the final vehicle, but do not blow it up yet. You want to get into the KnoWay Taxi control unit, which is right on the D-pad. Left is blowing the car up, so don't make that mistake. And once you get in here, you're going to want to drive outside, and you're going to get a list of 3 tasks to do. The ones I got was cause 5 high-speed collisions with vehicles, knock down 5 pedestrians, and reach 9 meters in the air. There's a few more different variations of these challenges, but they're all relatively simple, pretty much just causing havoc, driving fast, hitting pedestrians. So go ahead and do these challenges as fast as you can. And if you specifically have the reach 9 meters in the air task, I'd recommend coming over to this part on the map where you can just jump down here and it will automatically complete the challenge. Now what you can do is exit the KnoWay pod and blow up that final taxi. If you press left on the D-pad, the sticky bomb will blow up. You would have heard it in the background there. So now that that taxi is destroyed, all you need to do is leave the garage, get back inside your vehicle, which to be fair, I actually picked the wrong vehicle for this. You really want, well, you can still do it in the Duke of Death. There is a slightly more efficient route to do this. If you pick a vehicle that does not have armor, basically, because the issue with the Duke of Death is that you can't actually use sticky bombs while inside of it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, just to prove that there's a slightly better way to do this, is call in my other car. I'd personally recommend that you guys buy a Batty 801. I'll go ahead and buy one after this mission, but obviously I have the 9F Cabrio from that wheel spin earlier in the video. But I'd recommend you going ahead and buying a Batty 801. It is a very good vehicle to use for this and just in general on the game. You can find it on Southern San Andreas Super Autos. It is only $15,000. You can even go ahead and buy a cheaper one if you really want, but the Batty is a great vehicle. Or if there's any other cheap car you just want to use, it's up to you really. Obviously this guide is made to be efficient, but my personal recommendation is have fun with the game. If there's a fun car you want to buy, go ahead and buy that car. Once you get into a vehicle that has the ability to throw sticky bombs, you can go around and complete the rest of this mission with absolute ease. Now, I think it's best to come over to the location near the docks. I guess it's close to the docks at first. And all you need to do is throw a sticky bomb on these billboards. I somehow nearly missed that, and blow them up. Typically, the mission wants you to drive off of these ramps to hit it with the KnoWay taxi. However, since we destroyed that taxi, we can just use the sticky bombs and make it a lot faster for us. Now, you are going to get cops on you, which is why having the Duke of Death may be a little bit easier, but it's still pretty simple to do this because, funny glitch, because the intended way to do this mission is to use the KnoWay taxi at this point, the cops don't actually shoot you. I'll show you. The cops literally will never shoot you in this mission, ever. They just sit there because you're supposed to be in a taxi that you're not actually in. So you're... Okay, apparently I was wrong. They don't shoot you for a long while, at least. Usually they'll just shoot you instantly when they're in their car, but apparently they have to get out first. Didn't know they actually shot you. Interesting. But you see what I mean. They're really not going to shoot you as long as you're always on the move. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Just don't stop for too long, I guess. But yeah, the next one we can move to is over here. Destroy that. And basically just go around destroying all the billboards and the other KnoWay taxis, and then the mission's over. You just need to drive to the docks and you're done. And it's really just a personal preference, but out of all the billboards, this is the only one I like to do the intended way because it sort of gets you on your route to the end location anyways, although I nearly missed, so maybe just use a sticky bomb if you're worried about that. And yeah, when you're told to drive down to Avi's dead drop, I highly recommend going across the train tracks here. It's faster to get there, and you'll also be able to lose the cops when you just hide on this bridge over here. So all you need to do is sit around this location. Unfortunately, I have a helicopter on me right now. Occasionally, they will actually come over here, so you'll need to drive a bit further forward, but sometimes they will just sit where they are, and you can wait here for the cops to lose you. There we go. Cops are gone. We can head to the dead drop and finish the first setup mission. And as you can see there, we get 16,000. I think if you put this on hard mode, you get a tad more, like maybe 20 at most, but again, it's not a huge difference and the mission's a bit harder. Now for the second mission, I would actually recommend you get your Duke of Death back out. So if you don't have it, go ahead and call that in, then head on over to the phone again, pick it up and get started with mission number 2. So the first part of this mission is pretty simple. Drive on over to meet the KnoWay contact. Then once you're here, if you press Y/triangle/whatever it is on PC to get into the car too early, you can smash his window, which is extremely unnecessary, but it shows dominance, so do that if you like it. Then we're gonna head over to the downtown Cabco to blow up some taxis. Little tip, you don't actually have to slow down at all. As long as you hit this yellow marker, the game will stop for you. Then while he runs around the back, head on to the front here. I like to take my time parking in a way that'll be easier to get out later on. Then once he's planted the bombs and gets in the car, start driving away and head towards the storm drain. You're gonna have to get rid of the cops, and this is the easiest way to do so while getting closer to the next place, which is the hideout. You want to keep driving down here until you hit this sort of water intersection, I guess you can call it, and then take a sharp left, drive along the inside here. Then once you hit this opening, take a right. You don't go up the way there. Follow through until you hit this area. Turn right up here and you're basically at the building. I think this is the fastest way to get there while also getting rid of the cops. Although as long as you get there, it's not going to be too much of a time difference. Now, once you're inside, head straight into the briefing room. This is exactly the MC clubhouse. So if you've bought one, you should know what it looks like. And you just want to stand here in this spot. Personally, when I'm inside here, I like going first person because you're going to have to kill these guys pretty quickly, and turning right to left in third person is a bit annoying in my opinion. You're going to get a few seconds before they start shooting you to shoot them. So make sure your snacks and armor are all filled up. Make sure you're healthy. Get out your pump shotgun and try. Okay, what? That's interesting. I've done this mission well over 10 times and that's not happened before. I know this is supposed to be a tutorial where I know what I'm doing, but honestly, could not tell you what just happened there. He had an explosive apparently. Try not to explode. Typically not a good thing. And yeah, don't die because you do actually have lives in these missions, remember. All right, once you're outside and hopefully still alive, get back in your car, which would have been delivered to you. And this is the section why having the Duke of Death is really important. You can't do it without it, but it is just safer. You're gonna want to drive over to this data center and I'll show you exactly where to park your car to make your escape easier a bit later on. So take a right into the data center, kill the guards out front. You can just stay in your car to this. And now what you want to do is specifically park your car right about here facing this way so you can get into it from this angle. Once you've done that, head inside. There's going to be quite a few guards in here. Some of them have shotguns, so it would be good to have body armor. I don't, so I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful. But there are the first 3 dead. There are more downstairs. There we go. Now pick up the 3 hard drives. One is always in this south area here. Then run to this one that is in the north, and then through this corridor, sort of back towards the entrance for the 3rd and final one. They're always in the same spot, so pretty easy to remember. And now we head back outside for our escape. So as soon as we get out here, start sprinting straight to the right, head inside your armored, hopefully armored vehicle, and start driving straight. Now there is going to be an explosive that one of these cars throw. It's never hit me before, so if it does hit you, that's just very unfortunate, but it has never hit me in the 10 plus times I've done these missions, so you should be fine. And now all you need to do is follow the GPS, and you should be done with the mission. There's no way. There's no way. Are you serious? That is horrendous timing. I was nearly done with the mission. I mean, you get the point. You drive to the drop-off and you're done. I want to say I've been living in this apartment for 2.5 years. That is the first time I've ever been disconnected from GTA Online due to internet issues. That's really cool. Well, I'll see you when my internet's back. I actually just want to pop in here for a second and mention, I think I know why that exploded. I don't know if I can actually get to it, but if I walk around here, this is an explosive box right here. So one of my shotgun shells must have hit that. If you want to avoid that happening to you, I guess don't use a shotgun on this guy. Use your combat MG or a pistol or something, because that does have a chance of happening. Okay, seems like we managed to complete it this time. Just want to show you the final bit of the mission. Same as last time, come over to the trunk, go over to the phone, talk to Avi, and then you're good to go. Now, the next mission is located over at the airport, so just go ahead and drive on over there and then we can get started. So same as usual, walk up to the phone, buy your ammo and body armor, and then cutscene time. So once you finish that phone call, you're gonna want to just drive all the way down to the waypoint and even into the subway. So come in here and just like so. Okay, maybe go a bit slower than I did. Now, once you're in here, there's a little bit of a stealth section, so make sure to get your suppressed weapon out and just take down the guards one by one. Very difficult to mess up this one. The guards are quite spaced apart. You have a lot of time. It's really not too tough. Once you get to these stairs, kill the guard on the right first, then go ahead and kill these guys. 1, 2, 3. And what I like to do is line your character up here, jump straight down, roll in, and then you can instantly fall out of the train. Apparently you can instantly hack the controls. 5 times 10, 5 times, is that 0? That's 0, or 1 I guess, then 2 times 2. Now you can either run along the train tracks or just wait inside. Now a quick little tip I also found in the comments from my last video: if you get sticky bombs, I heard that you can throw sticky bombs on the tracks here where the other train is roughly going to be, and when it gets here, if you blow them up, it kills the guys instantly. So train comes to a rough halt. And yeah, that works. So the other 2 sticky bombs will need to be a bit further along to kill those 2 guys, but that's quite a nice strategy. Then you want to come in here, pick up the briefcase and make your way out to the right. Take down these guys and then heal up fully. And there are going to be 2 bikes in this crate here. Now, the rest of this mission is an escape run. The main tips I can give you is have your interaction menu open at all times over these snacks so you can constantly heal and just drive. If you're not that confident with your driving, go a little bit slower. That was a really good start. But the bikes in this mission have actually been coded a bit different, and it's really, really difficult to fall off. So don't be too scared about going a decent speed. It's better just to keep going and try not to die. There's a car there, so go to the right. And when you get to the end here, jump over into the storm drain once again. Now, once you're here, you can go ahead and go any way to the final destination. There's a little shortcut. Well, I don't even think it's a shortcut really, where you can go that way and jump. But what I like to do is come up here, hit this hill, and it will sort of bounce you to the direction. Honestly, if you want to be safer, it's probably better not to do that because it's just sort of stupid. You know, I like having fun with this game. Dare I say, video games, I like to have a good time occasionally. And then once you're here, drive to the same drop-off location, and you're done. Now, just before this 4th mission of the KnoWay Out set, it's actually a really good time to go ahead and move over to your freak shop and upgrade your heavy sniper to a heavy sniper Mark II. If you've been doing the Dax Fulgen jobs in the background between missions like I have, you should have enough money to go ahead and do this. It's only about 100k, 150k, I think, but now is a really good time to do this because of a strategy I will show you in the upcoming mission. So yeah, come on over here to the weapon workshop, heavy sniper, upgrade to a Mark II, 165,000. Go ahead and get extended clip, might as well, no real harm. And I think I'm also going to go ahead and upgrade my pump shotgun to a Mark II just because it's a bit of fun. And like I said, I like having some fun. Just in case, I'm going to go ahead and check if I've actually done enough Fulgen jobs. I don't think I have. No, I still need to do more. In fact, can I go ahead and do one right now? I can do one right now. Like I said, I'm not going to actually show this, but good to show you that whenever you have it off cooldown, best to go ahead and do it right away. Okay, just finished that Fulgen job, and now we're on to the penultimate one of the KnoWay missions, which is located over here near the poverty area. I kind of just forget what it's called, so I always just call it that. Sorry for offending those in poverty. But yeah, this mission is basically collecting trash. So it adds up with the poverty. I'm kidding. I love a good bin man. And now it's time for me to become one. So with this mission, we are heading over to Rogers Salvage and Scrap to commandeer ourselves a trash truck. Now, this mission, out of all of them, has the most sort of tactics and little strategies to make it go faster. So instantly, when I drive up here, I like to shoot these guys, not necessarily kill them, but just scare them away. Because if you don't, sometimes they will be brave and take you out to the truck, which will just lose you a few seconds. Next up, I personally like driving through the fences here and taking a sharp right. You can just drive on the normal road as well, but if you are, you're kind of being a little scaredy cat, and I won't respect you. Now, there are 3 of these locations you're going to be going to, and it's very important to park your truck in the right place and walk in the right spots so that you don't get spotted and ruin the mission. For this first one, you're going to want to drive in here, instantly head to the left, and make sure the back of your truck is sort of lined up with the edge of that fence. Then once you've parked, you want to run back around this way over to this electric board here. Wait for the electrician to move out of the way, and then go ahead and damage the fuse box. And also make sure you're not holding weapons while doing any of this because you'll be instantly spotted. Once that is done, the guard over here will eventually move over to investigate, and then you can go ahead and pick up these trash bags and put them inside of your truck. Now, it looks like he's going to see me, but because the truck's in the way, he shouldn't do that with these 2 bags. Then head back inside the truck and you can leave. There are a few more trash bags around the back that will get you a bit of cash, but they're definitely not worth getting if you're trying to do this efficiently. So just leave them. And for this first location, if you line up your truck correctly, you can drive out this way and instantly head over to the other KnoWay office. Now, it's important to get there quickly because there is, as you can see there, another truck on the map, the actual real garbage men. And if you don't do the next section quick enough, they will basically spot you, know that you're not a real trash man, an imposter, and sort of mess up the stealth for you. Now, once you've reached the second location, honk the horn to be let in. And the best spot to park here, just about there. Make sure the back of your truck is in between those 2 white sections there. Now, for this one, we are going to be killing people, so make sure you have a suppressed weapon. Kill this guard, and then shoot the camera. Then come down here to the left and kill this guard. Put your weapon away, grab the trash bags, put them in the truck. And then, if you've done this correctly, you should be able to get in and leave before the other trash truck even arrives here. Look, there's our friend. He's not going to be suspicious whatsoever. Don't even worry about me, mate. Now, this next location is why I went ahead and upgraded that sniper to a Mark II weapon, because there's a little strategy I found here to make it a bit easier. So what you need to do is park your truck diagonally or horizontally across the road around about here, basically in line with this driveway. This is important for later on. But once you do that, walk up in here, grab another suppressed weapon, and kill this guard out here, as well as this guard out here. Put your weapon back away and walk down into the garage area. You're going to go ahead and show this man your ID. Once he walks away, go ahead and get out a suppressed weapon. Hit him or shoot him, however you want to. Then go ahead and disable the security camera. As long as you kill him first, before the security camera can see him, which is just out here, and do this, you'll be able to head inside here once you finish a quick hack, and you would not have alerted the guards. And this hack is pretty simple. Just follow the route, don't hit the walls, and we're safely in. So we have another stealth section here. Wait for this guard to move before moving. Get out your suppressed weapon and make sure to stay in sneak for most of the time. The entire time, really. The way I like to do it is kill this guy on the left first, then kill these two guards, slowly make your way around, kill the guy standing over there, and the guy standing looking at his phone like a dumb little idiot man. Come around the side, kill that guard that you saw moving before, and kill the guy behind the laptop. Then finally come into this server room and kill this guard. Now you can stop sneaking, and that stealth section is done. Make sure to pick up that document there and the other document over here on the desk. And now we can head back outside. And this next section, you need to do very quickly, so make sure to follow along exactly as I do. So once you're out, put your weapon away and start sprinting as fast as you possibly can. Head up these stairs here, and as soon as you get up, get your heavy sniper Mark II out, and you want to start shooting at this van instantly. If you've done this correctly, which I have not this time, wow, that's annoying. Okay, I still managed to do it. If you do it exactly correct, the van should be completely stopped by this truck here. If not, you're going to have to do your best to damage it before it gets too far away like I did there. But basically... Okay, is this car inside me? What is going on? Basically, what you need to do is drive on down. You need to not die, obviously. That's getting really close there. Health and ammo. Snacks, please. Try and take care of all the enemies as best as you can. And this section is never really easy. No matter where you end up getting this van down, there's going to be a lot of enemies around you. So you just got to do your best to keep your health high. But basically, just grab the two bags. Could you fucking not, please? Excuse me, mate. I'm fucking walking here. What are you doing? That's insane. But once you get the bags in there, head back in the trash master and head to the drop-off. I can't believe that. The NPCs are fully sabotaging me. So yeah, that didn't go exactly to plan, but you can see the idea. And if you want to see how it looks successfully, I'll play a little clip on the screen now from some of my past attempts. It's pretty easy to do, as long as you park the truck in the right place, which is a little bit finicky, I guess. So now, very similar to the first mission, you're just going to want to go on the train tracks here to get rid of the cops. And that is the mission done. Now, just before moving on to the final mission, it is a really good time to go ahead and restock on body armor. If you haven't, it's good to do it between any mission, but this one especially, as it is extremely combat heavy, and you're going to be using a lot of it, especially at a lower level. So there we go. As I said earlier, snacks automatically refill in missions, so you don't need to worry about that. Now, we're just heading over to the A again to start the finale. All right, so here we are. Now, just before we go ahead and actually start the mission, there are a few very important things we need to go over. So for the setup missions, I didn't really care whether you were on normal or hard. However, for a clean break, the Abby Schwartzman KnoWay Missions finale, it is extremely important to always play this mission on hard. If you play it on normal, I think you get paid around $300,000 to $350,000. If you play it on hard, you make $525,000, which is much better. Now, on top of this, if you complete the Elite Challenge, which includes completing this in under 10 minutes without dying, failing hacks, and also getting over 35 headshots, you will get a bonus 100K, making this worth $625,000 every single time you do it. Now, the Elite Challenge is a tad difficult. However, as long as you practice and are very careful about getting the headshots and doing it quickly, it is very doable. So as soon as you have control of your character, you need to quickly run over to this van and pick up the hacking device. And then once you do that, make sure to run out here. Do not jump over the bushes because you can't, and run as fast as you can to one of these police or FIB SUVs. They will arrest you and you'll be taken to the FIB headquarters. When you're in here, you'll get a quick little cutscene where the FIB agent gets annoyed that you don't talk back to him. Once you finish this, you'll need to quickly exit the room. There are two things you need to pick up: a book that tells you which wire to cut, and the pen, which you can see there on the desk. Personally, I find it easier to do this in first person, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to that. You want to walk around to this bookcase here, pick up this book with the right on the D-pad, and as you can see there, red is going to be the wire to unlock the door. This changes every time, so do not just follow red, and then pick up the pen here. You want to walk around the chair because you cannot go past it. Go to the keypad and then cut the wire you're supposed to. Next, start walking down this hallway, then go into sneak, which is the left analog stick on consoles, and I'm not sure what it is on PC. Go up, melee this guy with the reload button, then you'll get his gun. Now from this point, you want to start getting headshots. Be very careful about getting them because that's how you complete the elite challenge. Okay, I don't know why I'm struggling so... I'm really struggling, wow. Okay, I've not played this mission in a few weeks, so give me a break. But once you come around the side here, make sure to pick up your stuff and then go ahead and get as many headshots as you can. Again, very important to get these for the elite challenge. Once you make it through those guys, there are still people on the map there. Don't worry about them now. You can start the hack. When you're in the hack, people will not damage you. Now, this hack is pretty simple. You just need to make sure the wires all connect from start to finish and end up on both of those white nodes on the side. Now, these guys are shooting at me, which is a little bit annoying. But I'm going to head out this way. Make sure to headshot them as well. It's going to be coming out of this bathroom. Headshot him and headshot him. Now you want to quickly make your way out in this door here. Then I personally like going back to third person for this section because you're going to be taking cover while taking down a bunch of enemies. Run out to the left here, instantly take cover here, then start trying to get headshots as best you can. Just a reminder again that if you're doing this at a low level, your health is going to be very low, which is going to make this more difficult for you. But once you take out all those guys, quickly run across the room. You can put more body armor on, but for this section, it's not as important in my opinion. The guards are mostly looking away from you or not in a position that's too tough to kill them. And also the next section is way more important to have body armor. There we go. Once you kill all of them, hop in the helicopter. Do not put on body armor, by the way. If you have no body armor when hopping into the helicopter, do not restock because it automatically goes away when you get to the next section. But now you want to start heading over to the beach over here where Avi is. It's always the same location, so don't wait for it to pop up on the map. Instantly just get up and start flying to the east. And then once the third missile hits your helicopter, you're going to go down in a cutscene. And when you wake up, you're going to have low health and armor. It is now safe to restock and then start moving towards the cove. So there are going to be a lot of guys on this beach. It is important to get as many headshots as possible still because at this point we do not have enough. Just do your best. Obviously, the elite challenge is both time and accuracy, so you need to balance the both of them very well. It can be a little bit stressful times. Make sure to keep that body armor and health up as much as you can. The combat MG is my go-to weapon for this. However, you can use whatever you want. Now, there's going to be an annihilator helicopter here, so make sure you have a homing launcher or something that can take it down like that. Just make sure to not stay in one place for too long. Keep moving up because the further you are up the beach, the easier it is going to be to get those headshots on those further enemies. And then once you've finished this section, head on to one of these 3 sea sharks and head directly to Avi. There's going to be another helicopter that shows up there. However, if you get onto the sea shark fast enough, it should despawn in a few seconds from now. So it's shooting at us, but there, it's gone. Now I'm going to speed up this clip right now and just show you the route that I typically take while on the sea shark. This should be the way that gets you there the fastest and also does not get the cops back on you. All right, moment of truth. Mission passed. We're going to get 525,000 for the base hard mode payout. We completed it in under 10 minutes. We obviously did not die. And we did not fail the hack. The only thing is, did we get 35 or above headshots? Yes, we did. 38. So there you go. If you follow that guide and obviously do it quick enough and have enough headshots, you'll get the elite challenge bonus. However, even if you don't manage to do the elite challenge, 525,000 is a great amount to get for the amount of work that these missions are. Don't be too worried about doing that. If you're not good enough yet, just work towards it, keep practicing, and eventually this will become one of the better money makers in the entire game. And of course, we're going to get a first time bonus as well. You would have seen an extra $250,000 for doing this for the first time, which means we are back at over $1 million. That was, wow, a no-way taxi, really. That's quite ironic. Now, similar to the Cluckin farm raid, the Avi Schwartzman missions have around a 48-minute cooldown, I believe. So at this point in the video, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and do the Avi Schwartzman KnoWay Out missions and the Cluckin farm raid back to back to back, as much as you want to get however much cash you want to buy your next business, your next vehicle, whatever. However, what I'm going to go ahead and do is wait for Dax to call me back because there's some more Dax missions that I want to go ahead and get started with. Okay, so I just got the call from Dax and we are ready to start the last dose missions. Now, doing this will obviously give us a good amount of cash. We'll also unlock the Ocelot Virtue for us, which is a really good vehicle that has Amani tech capabilities, is pretty armored, not as much as the Duke of Death or the Armored Kuruma, but still very good, and is honestly just a really cool like super / sports car to get early on for free, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and start up the first mission. This is an intervention. So first mission is a load of combat. Luckily, we have some Mark II weapons, a homing launcher, and hopefully a lot of skill after completing that last mission. Completely fine to take this mission at your own pace, sit back behind cover, but I've done this a few times, although not in like the past year, to be honest. So I'm happy just to run around, be a little bit more careless, even though I'm probably going to get myself killed doing that. Just slowly make your way around the freak shop down this side, take out choppers when you can, kill the enemies when you can, don't get yourself killed. Okay, I was literally healing as I did that. Yeah, maybe I should have practiced this before trying to make a tutorial. May have been a smart idea. Luckily, we have 2 lives though. Okay. So eventually after you kill enough of them, they will start running away. Yeah, head over to Dax, and that's the first mission complete. Basically just a big gunfight. And exactly like the first dose, we're going to be getting first time bonuses, this time 100,000. And again, similar to the first dose, wait for Dax to contact you, head back to the yellow circle and start up mission 2. Now, this mission is going to have us drive around to a few different locations to find out where Lab Rat is. Doesn't really matter where you go first. A makes sense because it's closer. So come up here. Probably best to turn your car around because you're going to be leaving in it afterwards. But all you need to do is take out all of the hippies. Make sure not to kill the leader here.
This clown doesn't know shit. Come on, let's try the next.
You know what? You know, she deserved to live after that. That's embarrassing. But now head on down to location B. Second location, just like the first, except this one you can pretty easily stay in your car the whole entire time. Come in, kill the people, don't kill the leader, say hello, and then once he tells you that he is not the man you're looking for, you can go ahead and leave, and Dax will give you a final location to go to. So, same as the last 2 locations, kill the hippies, don't kill the leader, don't die, pretty simple. Alright, hello boss man. Now, once Dax is done intimidating him, you can head on over to Elysian Island. So, when I said this was the final location, I meant the final hippie boss location. We still have to go here and steal some stuff. Can't remember what the stuff is. I think it's just information. So once you get down here, you're going to want to look for a warehouse, which is always going to be the one with this truck, van. It's not either of those. It's just a regular SUV parked outside of. So go ahead and hit that. Then you can hack this keypad right here to get inside. Just one of these hacks. Hit X when the gap is in the red. Pretty simple. Now, once you're inside, there are going to be 4 separate things you need to take photos of. First of all is this board over here that has photos of all of the members of your little freakazoid thing. Next up is going to be a clue here. What is it exactly? It's an order of drugs. I'm going to guess. Can you tell I listened to the dialogue when doing these missions? Now, next up is going to be this crate of weapons here. And finally, you're going to want to come over to here, this little workstation here where we have a card of Freedmind Therapeutics. Kill these guys when they come in here. And sorry, there actually is a 5th one. It's not just 4. The 5th is, I believe, just these pharmaceuticals right here. There we go. And make sure to grab the key card as well. Now we're just going to leave Elysian Island. Another 100k in the bank. And now we can drive back over to the freak shop and get started with that 3rd mission. So time to move on to mission number 3 called Freed Mind. So for this mission, we're heading over to Freed Mind HQ to go ahead and save Lab Rat from the clutches of the evil. Well, I won't spoil who it is, although it's pretty obvious if you know the lore. So you just need to drive up here and get inside the HQ by hacking the door. Once you get inside here, there's going to be another stealth section. Just going to put it out there. Once again, have not played this mission in quite a long time, so I don't fully remember if I know how to do it correctly, but I'm going to do my best. So kill those 2 guys straight away. Go up the stairs on the right, and there's no guys in this stairwell. There are going to be some right here though. This guy does not see me somehow. Kind of impressive, I will say, but I can kill him now once that guy's gone through that door. Then we can move through here. There's 2 guys. Kill them both. Kill the guy on the stairs there while heading up to the top floor. There's 2 more here. Take them out before they see you. And we've done that so far. Again, if you fail the stealth section, it's not really a big problem at all. Pretty much it's just going to be that the guards know you're here. It's not actually tough in any real way. But what I'm going to do is wait for this guy to get to his post. Kill him. Kill this scientist. Kill this scientist. And this one. Then this one. The final guard. And the final scientist. There we go. Now we just need to find a clue to locate Lab Rat. It should just be anywhere on one of these tables. I think there are multiple different spawn locations, so just look around. Hopefully there will be something that pops up on my map soon enough. There we go. You can see the green notepad there. grab the clipboard. Now we need to find the keys for the basement. Similar to the notepad, will just be around somewhere. Look around, wait for a green thing to pop up on your map. Just gonna keep your eyes peeled. There they are. Now we can start heading back downstairs. So when you head back down, there are gonna be some more enemies that spawn, but you can take care of them pretty easily. And no matter how you do this mission, it's going to be aggressive. But you can just not worry about the 2 enemies in the hallway there. Come on down to the basement and continue killing more guards in here. And once you kill all of them, we'll get into a cutscene where we get to save Lab Rat and meet the enemy of this mission set. If you haven't guessed already, put your guesses in the comments below. And it is Messiah Freelander. It's Michael's therapist from GTA Story Mode. All right, after that cutscene, we get put in this car and we just need to drive back to the freak shop. All right, and there is that mission complete. All right, now we can swiftly move on to the penultimate last dose mission, which if you remember the first dose mission sets, this is very similar to the drug trip mission. There is a bit more combat, however, it is a big trip. You can't really fail it, I don't believe, but I do think it is pretty simple. All you need to do is drive on over to Dr. Freelander's rehab clinic, and once you get there, it's basically just a big trippy gunfight where there's like clowns and yourself. So here we are at the rehab clinic, and the first part of the mission is a bit more difficult. There's actually normal enemies, but all you really need to do is take out these first few guys here. Once you do that, head on over to the main entrance of the clinic, try to get in, and then Freelander's gonna turn you into a mentally unwell person due to a massive amount of drugs. So there are gonna be multiple rounds of this where you have to kill different enemies. I haven't actually fully tested. I don't know if you necessarily need to kill or if there's a certain threshold that you have to kill to move on to the next section, but you know, just have fun with it. If you do die, which you don't have a health bar, you don't have armor, you just get sent up into the sky and you fall back down. And as you can see there, we are moving on away from the aliens into beasts. Animals? Beasts and animals.
My marketing campaign is going far.
And I've been killed by a cougar and got a trophy for it. That's not for getting killed by the cougar, but by becoming a gangster. Now away from the animals, and I believe this section is Freelander. It's Freelander. There's one more after this. And then finally, we are going to be killing variants of ourselves, which, you know, is probably the best therapy. And then once you get the message that says don't fight, just let it go ahead and get killed. Just walk out into the open. And then mission is complete. And once again, before heading into this final mission, make sure to go ahead and stock up on your body armor because you're definitely going to need it. But then we can go ahead and complete the last dose. Now, this final mission, BDKD, Badonkadonk, I do think it is probably the most difficult mission out of all the Dax ones. However, let's see if we can get it done the first time without a death or two. So what you're going to want to go ahead and do, get into your car, drive back through the freak shop. So you get through this ramp, but then instantly go to the left here, get down, shake it all around, and then get into the Vellum. We're going to be flying this over towards the airport to intercept a plane that Dr. Freelander is on. So here's the plane we need to intercept. We need to fly close towards the back of it, and we need to stay inside the signal range to start hacking. All right, hack done. And then as soon as it's done, you're going to get a cutscene where you fly in. Luckily, it's not like the story mode mission where you actually have to fly into it. They just do it for you. Now, as soon as you're in here, my recommendation is to get your frag grenades out and just spam them. Just get them down there. Let these people taste some explosives. Then kill the rest with your... Holy shit. Okay. I know I said try and do this without any deaths. I got 2 tapped. That's awesome. That's going to make the rest of this mission a bit more annoying. Yeah, so just maybe take a bit more cover, use more grenades if you really need to. And then once all the enemies are done, come up to this ladder. Now, in quite a disappointing end to this, Freelander does get away, which is quite odd. Maybe we'll see him in GTA 6. Who knows? But now we're tasked with the job of landing the plane at Sandy Shores Airfield, so start heading to the right as soon as you can. Okay, now as you approach, make sure to get your landing gear out. And I believe, yeah, it's also a cutscene for this, so you don't actually have to worry about landing. Now, it's unfortunate that we did die in the plane earlier because this next part of the mission is actually the difficult bit, and working with only 1 life is a bit more stressful. Although if I lose that as well, we just get to restart from here. So it's not the worst thing in the world. We basically just need to defend Dax while he loads up the truck. Now, what you can go ahead and do is if you have explosives, use them. You can always go ahead, go to interaction menu, go to ammo, and buy them back or not. I guess you can press all ammo to get it back. I don't know why it's not letting me do it specifically for the RPG or homing launcher. That's a bit weird. But yeah, just go ahead and use your RPG to blow these up. Ideally, a railgun is the best weapon to have for this mission. You can also just use your sticky bombs as well. It does take quite a while to finish this mission, so just stay as safe as you can. Killing the cops while they're in their car ASAP is going to mean they have less chances to shoot you, so make sure to stay on top of that. I believe later on this mission, we're going to see some more difficult vehicles start to pop up, and also just some individual guys as well, like that. We also have a helicopter here, which I should be able to free aim. There we go. Keep buying that ammo back. Another helicopter. There we go. I've gotten pretty good at using the homing launcher free aim recently. I've been doing a lot of these level 1 account videos, so I've had to practice. We are nearly there, but as you can see, like I said, bit of a heavier vehicle. Still takes only 1 RPG to get it down, which is nice. Another heli. There we go. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, if you die at any point for the rest of the mission, you have to restart this entire section over again. So you just want to be very careful. Okay, we can go ahead and enter the truck now. Now, similar to any of these missions where you're driving and have enemies on you, just get your snacks out. Now, obviously, the difficult part about this is not only do we have to worry about our own health, as we do have to worry about the truck's health, but we can use explosives while in this vehicle. So we can go ahead and do things like that. Taking the shortcut to the right here is also important. So you cut across this like triangle bit of dirt, drive around on this road that usually takes you to the prison, and cut down where this light post is. This helicopter, from what I remember, is really annoying as well, so trying to take it down is pretty important. I think I'd managed to get the pilot there. Awesome. And we are going to have to lose the cops later as well, but I don't think they start getting off you until a bit further down. So just keep driving for now. Take down the helicopters whenever you can, because they are a real pain in the ass in this mission. And now we can start losing the cops. So go ahead and do that however you like. Drive on different streets, go up into the dirt. I'm going to head over to the right here and just sort of go around these hills for now until we get rid of them. Although there is a helicopter coming right at me, but luckily it is too late for them. And we can head back to the freak shop and finish the last dose. And there we go. Last dose missions completed. And that is the final one of the Dax missions, period. You can go ahead and replay these. You won't be getting those big first time bonuses anymore. And to be honest, they don't really pay much at all. So I'd recommend you don't do it if you want money. But if you want fun, go for it. Now, we do end this mission up on Mount Chiliad, quite far away from wherever we want to be. But we are going to get a lovely little first time completion bonus in a second here. Is it going to show up? There we go, another $100,000. So we're currently sitting at 1692261. However, on top of that, we also have a new vehicle that we're going to get for free. We just need to head down to, I believe it's around here or something. I'm going to go ahead and switch sessions. There we go. So yeah, you get a golden icon on your map. Drive on over to it. It's actually in the same trash location for those other missions we just did, and it's going to be the Ocelot Virtue, which is right on here. Now, I don't believe I'll be able to pick it up, or at least make it mine at the moment, because yeah, I don't have enough spaces, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the 9F Cabrio. I got it for free anyways, isn't a huge problem. And now we have a pretty cool vehicle that, as you can see there, has missile lock-on jammer, remote control unit, slick mines, and armor plating. Now, all these upgrades, we actually need the agency to go ahead and get, which is one of the businesses we will be getting very shortly in this video. However, the cheapest one is $2 million. We're currently still at 1.6. So there's a few things we need to go ahead and do to be able to afford that. And that starts with doing another full looking job for Dax. So I'll see you when that's over. By the way, I just remembered, in case you were wondering how far you are along with the full looking job for the equipment upgrades, you can actually go ahead and go to your stats, then down to awards, then scroll all the way down to Los Santos Drug Wars. And this award that says call me, it will tell you right there, complete 10 full looking jobs for Dax. I'm currently on 9 out of 10. I'm going to go ahead and AFK, complete the 10th one, and then we're going to go ahead and set up and start using the Acid Lab as a little passive money maker. And we can finally get this bad boy up and running at maximum capacity. So just come over to Acid Lab, upgrades, go to the equipment. Now there's going to be an extra cost of $250,000. However, if you've been paying attention, you do get $50,000 every single time you do one of the full looking jobs correctly. If you don't do it correctly, you only get $25,000, but that's still $250K. So if you do it correctly, it's basically a 50% discount, which is really good. So because the Acid Lab is a passive money maker, you want to make sure to restock as often as possible. And the ways you do that is you can come inside the Acid Lab and speak to Mutt. You can also call him on your phone. When you're outside of a building or outside the Acid Lab, you can call Mutt on your phone and restock supplies like that, which is honestly a lot easier if you're not near your Acid Lab. But while I'm in here, I might as well speak to the boy. You're going to be spending $60,000 per supplies bought. However, you're going to make a lot more money back. Now, the other important thing you need to make sure to do every day is come over to this table here where you can boost the production. This is going to speed up how long it takes the supplies to actually get made into product. I don't know the exact stats, but I think it brings it down from about 3 hours for full supplies down to about 2.5 hours or so. So it's like a 30-minute boost to fully max out the Acid Lab sales, which is pretty good. And then once you do have some product, all you need to do is come over here to sell it. But once you buy the supplies, it'll take about 10 in-game minutes for them to actually be delivered to the Acid Lab, but then you just need to wait for them to be stocked up. You can sell it intermittently whenever there's product, or you can wait the full 3 hours to sell. Really up to you, depending on how often you're in the game or how often you really want to be selling. But now we are back in the open world with some more money to make. As I said before, we are going to be buying the agency next as our big money maker, and the agency costs just over $2 million and $10,000 to be exact. So we need about $600,000 more, and the way we're going to start that is by doing some time trials. Now, if you are on the expanded and enhanced version of the game, which is available on both PC as well as the 2 next-gen consoles, you're going to want to come over here to the map, which is this house vehicle icon. It will be here if you have, again, the expanded and enhanced version, and it is how you get access to the HSW vehicles and time trials. You're going to need to complete a starter time trial for HAL to get access to all those things. It's just basically a big race around the map. It takes about 6 minutes long. If you really need a guide for it, there's a bunch out there on YouTube, but as long as your driving skill is above terrible, it should be relatively easy to finish. The main basic tip I will give is that if you have not done this before, you're going to be a little bit shocked by how fast this car is. So the main thing you want to do is just try and slow down before corners. Don't go overly fast unnecessarily. The car will also spin out a little bit if you take corners too sharply. Really just exercise caution. There's the spinning out I was talking about. The time you have to beat is pretty generous, so as long as you don't crash massively multiple times, you should be good to go. So as you can see, Mutt has just texted us saying he's got the supplies delivered. So that means it is being cooked up in the background. And now, if you really want to be efficient, you can set a timer for, I believe it's around 90 minutes or so for each batch to be cooked. But you can be really efficient and do that. Or if you're just playing, just check up every once in a while, order supplies whenever you feel like it's been long enough. And either way, you're going to be making money in the background. So it's really going to be good for you either way. Pretty good timing because we have just finished the time trial at exactly 6 minutes. So again, 2 minutes left over from how I drove it. You really have a lot of times. It's not going to be too difficult. But as you can see there in the bottom left, we've unlocked a discount for HAL Special Works upgrade, which basically gives us a free HSW vehicle as long as we have the vehicle. Now, there are a lot of HSW vehicles in the game. There are some that are really fast, really good sports cars. I believe some of these are HSW vehicles, the Niobe possibly. Yes, like this is an HSW vehicle, probably my favorite car in the game. However, instead of picking up a car, we're going to be picking up a bike, specifically the Hakuchu Drag. This is nearly $1 million, so we will be making a loss right now. However, it is by far the single best vehicle to do time trials with in the entire game, and you'll never need to buy another one for the rest of your account. So once you get your brand new bike, come on over to LS Car Meet, which is located on this southern right part of the map. Head inside, you're gonna have to watch an annoyingly long cutscene, and then we can get into modifying. So as I mentioned, as soon as you spawn in, walk straight forward here to Mimi. Then you can go ahead and buy a membership for $50,000. Then once you've done that, you can go over to your vehicle of choice. You just need to get on it, press square to head over to the vehicle options, and then right on the Z-pad, at least on consoles, to go over to the vehicle modding station, the house garage. I don't really know what to call it. Then here, as you can see, we get a free HSW upgrade. This is only for the first vehicle after you do that time trial. Otherwise, it is not going to be free. So once you've purchased that, you can go ahead and leave House Workshop, and now we can go on to doing the time trials. As of the week I'm recording this, the two that are in the game are this Storm Drain time trial, which I actually haven't seen in years. Like, I feel like this never is in the game. I think it must be one of the shortest time trials in the game. So that's the regular time trial. And then the HSW time trial is this one up here. It is called North Chumash. This is definitely one of the more difficult ones. However, the unique thing about the HSW time trials is that the par time that you see there, that for this vehicle at least is 3 minutes and 49 seconds, actually changes depending on which HSW vehicle you have. So the Kuchu Drag is one of the fastest ones, so the par time is a lot lower. If you have some of the slower cars, it will be higher, which is quite cool. However, for the normal time trials, the time is always the same. For this one, it is 38 seconds and 50 milliseconds. Now, we're going to start with that one because it's close to us. And I will say, if you are struggling with any of the time trials, there are two things I recommend you doing. One, upgrade your vehicle. I didn't put any upgrades on this vehicle except for the base HSW. You can make it faster with more money. Or two, go ahead and watch a tutorial on YouTube. There are a bunch of time trial speedruns out there that you can watch, and they will give you the best route to go because, I mean, this one is pretty straightforward. There's only really one way you can kind of go. But for a lot of time trials, there are multiple routes you can take and shortcuts that will cut down your time. So if you're ever struggling, just search up the time trial name, which for this one it's Storm Drain speedrun, and you can follow that. But I think for this, it should be pretty easy. Our vehicle, I believe, is fast enough. If it's not, we're gonna cry inside. And there we go. Quite close, to be honest. I actually think this time trial is deceivingly difficult. I think it's one of the toughest in the entire game. If you don't have a fast enough vehicle, you just straight up do not make it. But that is the first one done. We get $100,000 back for that, which is nice to recoup a bit of our losses on this vehicle. And now we can move up to the HSW time trial, which will give us $250,000. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but the great thing about time trials in this game is that they do repeat weekly. You also have those BMX ones that repeat daily. So as long as you're keeping on top of these and doing them whenever they reset, you're going to be making a good amount of money every single week. All right, so here we are at the dreaded North Chumash time trial. Now, when I first learned how to do this one, it took me a long time because if you go ahead and press right on the D-pad, you will get the end location. And I recommend doing this as well if you're unfamiliar with them. Go ahead and set a waypoint exactly where it is. Then you can go ahead and restart the time trial just so you know roughly where you're going. Now, the issue with GTA's GPS system is that it doesn't always tell you necessarily the fastest way to get there, because according to GTA, this is the shortest route. I don't know exactly how it's calculated, but I imagine it's based on distance or something. However, if you know what this road is, it is a canyon with a lot of bumps and turns and a river next to it. If you go across here, you're probably screwed. It is not the fastest way to go whatsoever. If you understand how vehicles work, it is better to go along one big straight, even if it's slightly further away, than a bunch of small little turns where you slow down your vehicle. We want to go around down this highway past the military base and then cut inside and follow this road along here. Then eventually you do come up back to the GPS here and sort of follow it down. Again, go ahead and look at a speedrun online if you want an exact route that you can follow along in real time, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this first time because, again, I am the GOAT. You've got to be kidding me. All right, just slow down, Dan. No need to rush it. We're on good time, good pace, just like chill. And there we go. See, I can do things if I think about them. When I don't think about things, typically they don't go well. Using your brain is good, kids. Stop brain rotting. There we go. 253,000 for some reason. Oh, there's a gang war here. Let me get out of this red circle, otherwise I'm going to be beaten by men. I don't know why it's 253,000. Sometimes it's 251, sometimes it's 250. Don't know exactly what changes that, but that is some more money in the bank account. Back up to 786,000. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip forward time a bit to when my acid lab is nearly ready to sell, so I can go ahead and show you how those sale missions work. So once you're ready to sell your acid product, make sure to call in your lab to wherever you are. I don't know exactly if calling it in the city has a higher chance of giving you sell missions in the city. I've had it called in here and it's made me go all the way up to the top of the map. However, I like calling it in the city just as a hope and pray. Go inside once you're ready. And as you can see, our product is about at 3 bars full. We still have some supplies left, but I'm going to go ahead and sell now anyways, just to save myself time. Now, the one thing you need to remember before you sell is come over to your interaction menu, go down to service vehicles, down to acid lab, and make sure to name your product. It doesn't really matter what you do. I'm going to do Big Zancudos, and that will, as you can see, increase the value of your product by a small amount. So make sure to go ahead and do that. And then when you're ready to sell, come on over to the sort of back right area here, register as a VIP, which you can do as long as you have 50k in your bank account, and then sell. Now, I believe the acid lab has 3 or 4 different types of sell missions. There's one where you go around throwing in acid products to different like mailboxes around the map. There is one where I think is the one where we got now, where we have to go ahead and deliver it to a rooftop garage where we get intercepted and then have to drive somewhere else. And there might be another one I'm forgetting, but they're all roughly the same. Drive somewhere with the motorbike, with the product, deliver it, get your cash. They're pretty easy sale missions. Some of my favorite in the game, to be honest. So for this one, we need to go upstairs. However, I do believe you can actually just blow up one of these cars down here and then instantly run away. You don't actually have to go upstairs and then just escape the cops. And then eventually Mutt will give you a secondary location to go ahead and deliver the loot. Now, if you're in the city, the best place always to go to get rid of the cops is the underground. And that, as we can see, we have a new location, which is just down here near the stadium. So we're going to head back up this way and head on over. So we just need to drive into the back of this van or truck. I never am able to guess which one's correct. And then we can leave. And apparently we have an attack chopper on us. Oh no, he's still chilling over there. Never mind, he's fine. There we go. We've left the area and got another $200,000. So those are the acid lab sale missions. Make sure to go ahead and restock by calling Mutt. like so after you finish a sale mission, so it gets restocked, and just rinse and repeat that again as often as you can to get as much money as you can passively. Now, like I said, we're going to go ahead and move on to when I have $2 million, then we're going to be buying the agency. All right, guys, I am back, and as you can see, we have the $2 million necessary for the next purchase, which is, of course, the agency, the one behind me specifically. Now, if you head on over to Money and Services down to Dynasty 8 Executive Realty, it is going to be this agency right here for $2 million and $10,000. I would argue this is the best agency in my personal opinion for like speed running the contract, but it's a lot more expensive as you can see, and it's not really necessary to worry about right now. All of the locations are pretty good, just go for the cheapest one. And one thing I will say, we can't afford it right now, but if you can afford the accommodation, which is just $275,000, I would highly recommend buying this as soon as you can, because it gives you the option to spawn at the agency whenever you switch sessions or log in for the first time that day, and it's just really useful for speeding up doing the contract, and also just a nice place to have a spawn location. But of course, we do not have that money just yet, so we're just gonna have to go for the base one for now. Now that we have that, we can head inside. Probably have to watch some cutscenes, a lot of those in this game, and then we can get into some more money making. All right, so once the cutscene's over, you'll spawn inside your office. All you need to do is come over to your computer, and you need to complete, I believe, one security contract before you get access to the Dr. Dre contract, which is the really good money maker from the agency. So you just need to pick one of the 3 security contracts. Doesn't really matter which one. Go for whichever one sounds the best or pays the most. Really up to you. I'm going to go vehicle recovery because it's usually pretty simple. Go ahead and finish this up. They're pretty quick missions, relatively easy. Doesn't matter if you die. There's no life limit or anything. So for this one, we need to enter a garage. And I assume steal the car. I mean, I don't know why I say I assume. I know that's the case. All right, got the stolen car, the Ignis. Pretty nice vehicle to use. And how do we leave? That's a good question. Am I going this way? I have to unlock the door, right? And more enemies spawn, a lot more enemies spawn. I'm dead. I always forget this happens. This always happens and I always forget about it. They really just catch you with your pants down, don't they? Oh, Jesus. All right, not dead. Somehow. Yeah, just be careful about that. They do spawn after you're about to go ahead and hit the exit door. If you're even doing this mission. For all I know, you're not doing this mission right now. And that doesn't apply to you, but I mean, good for the future, I guess. I mean, to be fair, after I do 3 of these security contracts, I rarely ever touch them again. You need to do 3 to unlock payphone hits, which is another decent way to make money. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty all right. You need to do 3 of the security contracts to unlock them. However, for today's video, we only need to unlock the Dr. Dre contract, which you only need to complete 1 of these. Now, once that's done, you just need to head on outside and wait for Franklin to call you. He'll basically give you a location on the minimap to go to, the golf course, and that's where you're going to meet Dre and start up the contract, which is one of the better money-making methods in the game, if I haven't said that already. In the meanwhile, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. I can go ahead and do some more time trials because it has passed over to the next week for me. You can go ahead and just wait if you want. Up to you. Have fun. It's a game. Well, there's the call from Franklin, and as you can see on the map, we have the location there. I'm still going to go ahead and do this because I've made my way over here, and it would feel like a waste to not do it, but then I'll head over to the golf course and we can get started. There we go, 250k, and actually, with that money, we can go ahead and purchase the accommodation, which I was talking about earlier, and that just gives us the ability to spawn back at the agency, which is nice. I'm actually going to... Did I not buy it? Am I dumb? I didn't buy it. Like I was saying, I think I will actually go ahead and do that now. So set spawn location to agency. Gonna go and spawn over there so we're closer to the point where Franklin needs us. And then it's time for golf. So just come over here to the entrance to the golf club house thing. Enter, and you can start up the first mission of the contract. Now, annoyingly, on your first run through of the contract, there's going to be a number of cutscenes and waiting times that are unskippable. The good thing is, once you complete it for the first time, a lot of these are cut out. So the time that it takes to finish it gets, you know, cut down by at least 30 minutes, I think. Just the first time that's quite slow, so just be patient, you'll get through it, and it makes you a lot of money anyways, so at least it's not for nothing, I guess. So, in this first mission, the goal is to chase down the 2 golfers with your golf cart. Now, there is golfer B and there is golfer A. B is this one in front of me, as you can see, and A is the one a bit further forward. Every single time I've done this, I've always gone for B first because he's been closer. However, in my last video, I saw a comment saying that if you hit golfer A first and get him, you know, destroyed, the intimidation bar you can see, the mission automatically completes rather than having to do B then A. So I'm testing this theory, going for A first, which should in theory make this twice as fast. So there we go, and the person in the comments was right. That is a new thing I did not know before. So yeah, to make this mission faster, go for golfer A first. Quite cool finding out new information about the game I've been playing since day 1 and have a career on. Good job, lad. So yeah, after you get the goal for A, intimidation, done, you just need to head to the docks, the pier, and then that's when you're going to be finishing the mission. Well, after we do some abuse to the rich and snotty, haughty, whatever word you want to use. And there we have the first mission passed. Now, in case you've not done this before and don't understand how the contract works, the first 2 missions, this one and the one we'll be playing very shortly, you only have to do the first time. After that, you can skip past them and play the rest of the contract, which also helps speed up the contract after this first run. However, we do get a nice little $50,000 first time bonus for this, and we're going to be getting first time bonuses a lot throughout this entire mission set, which is really nice for recouping the cash that we spent on the agency. But before we go ahead and do that, we have to wait for Franklin to call us again. And like I mentioned earlier, that is the really annoying thing about the contract the first time around. Not only do you have unskippable cutscenes, but in between every single mission, you have to wait for a phone call. So it does get a little bit tiresome, but there's nothing really you can do about it. There we go. There's the call. And for the rest of this video, every single time you see me go from one mission to another, just know that I'm waiting in between. I'm just not going to put it in the video because it's just, you know, waiting. But let's get back into it. And for all of the other missions in the contract, you're going to be starting them within the agency. Most of them happen right here at your computer, apart from the 2 finale missions, which do happen just right around here. The golf cart one is the only one that's not inside of this building, so that's why having the bedroom is really useful, because after every single mission, you can teleport back there and come right down here and start up. It's just a great system. But yeah, we can go ahead and get into the second one-time mission. You're only going to be doing this once unless you want to replay it for whatever reason. This is going to be an FIB infiltration. So here it is. Set up data recovery. So this mission is pretty simple. Fly on over to the FIB building. It's the exact same building we were in for the end of the Avi Schwartzman KnoWay Out missions. So you should be roughly familiar with the location. You want to land the heli, don't crash it. And now you can straight away run to the window right over here and it will get you in a cutscene. It takes a little bit for the guidance marker to actually come up and tell you where to go, but you can go straight away. And from my experience, this sort of glitches out the game a little bit so that you don't actually have enemies spawning in this room. We're gonna have to see if that happens here as well, but this happened to me pretty much every time I've tried it, which is quite cool. Now what you want to do is come over to this door here, throw a sticky bomb there, then blow up the door, and for some reason the door duplicates. As you can see, there are 2 of them. Don't question it, that's just what happens for some reason. Then you're just gonna wait for Franklin and Amani to stop yapping. There we go. We can install the software on the computer. Now we're just gonna wait for that download. And if this works, how it has worked for me pretty much every time, we should have no enemies. You can see that there are cops on the map, but they are all outside on the ground floor. There should be no one in the building if you have done exactly what I've done. There we go. Install finish. No enemies. If you do have enemies, just kill them. It's GTA. That's typically what you're spending most of your time doing anyways. But once we're done with that, we need to remove the hard drive from here, and then similarly to the KnoWay Out missions, we just gotta leave through this door in the back here and head back to the agency. Now I kind of messed up the escape plan for this mission, completely forgot to call my vehicle and died a few times, but to not waste your time watching that, basically all you want to do is parachute down to the ground, call in your vehicle and drive to this tunnel right here. It is the easiest and fastest way to get rid of the cops, and as soon as they're gone, you head back to the agency and finish up the mission. And there we go. Now with that done, you can come over to the computer once again and start up the central core part of the contract, which is the data leaks. These are 3 mission sets that send you to different parts of the map, taking back Dre's phone, or at least the data that was on his phone, from different types of people. There is a Southern Central leak, a Nightlife leak, and a High Society leak, as you can see here. Now, it doesn't matter which order you do these in at all. However, if you do want the most efficient route that speedrunners usually use, you go South Central first, followed by Nightlife, and finishing off with the High Society leak. So, saying that, I'm going to follow that route, starting with the Southern Central leak, which we're going to get into right now. So in this first mission, you're going to be taken to one of 3 locations to meet up with one of Franklin's friends, Vernon. And once you meet up with him right here, you're going to get inside this cavalcade and he's going to give you, again, one of 3 or one of 2 locations it might be to go to. And then we're going to be taking down some enemies. Wrong way. Like I was saying, we're going to be taking down some enemies, stealing another van. So that's 3 vehicles in this mission already, and then delivering it to a garage. Pretty simple stuff. So here we are at the deal. Now, what I usually do for this one is run in and throw in some explosives. You do want to be a little bit careful though, because depending on where the cars blow up, it might block your escape path. I've never had the van that you need to steal blow up from this. I don't know if it's indestructible, but yeah, that white van there, you want to just be a little bit careful. If you're not too confident about doing that without blowing something crucial up or whatever, just go ahead and shoot them normally. It doesn't take too long either way. And then that guy's not going to... I'm on fire. I am on fire. Nice. All right, once that's done, we need we need Vernon to get in the van. He does get stuck at this place quite a lot. Eventually, he does teleport into the van. I don't know where he is right now, though. I don't know why he always manages to get stuck. There he is. He just teleported. Cool. Yeah, once Vernon has warped space and time, you can get inside the van, steal the equipment, and first of all, you're going to have to just escape the lost MC. You're also going to have to get rid of the cops. However, since we are above level 21, we should be able to just call Lester to get rid of them once we get them on us, and that makes that part of the mission a lot more simple. But yeah, as soon as you get out here, turn to the right. Always follow this highway for the missions on this like right side of the map. Don't go into that area. Just go along this side. It's definitely the fastest way. And as soon as you get the cops on you, just go ahead and call Lester and remove wanted level. And as you can see there, once you lose your lost MC, Vernon will give you a location to drive to, and that is the mission done. There we go. Now, once the mission's done, because this is our first time doing the contract, we need to wait for that phone call from Franklin and Amani. However, if this is your second or, you know, however many times doing the contract, what I recommend you doing is going ahead and setting your spawn location to the agency, teleporting back there by switching sessions, and just moving on to the next mission. But unfortunately, we gotta wait. So I will see you when that's done. So as always, come back to the agency computer to get onto your next mission. And we're moving on to the second mission now, which is called the Ballers. Very similar to the last one, meeting up with Vernon, going to kill some people. This is one reason why this agency is really good, is because this mission can very often spawn right here, which is very close. The other spawn locations on the other side of the city, but it's nice to have this every so often. So here's Vernon, get inside the cavalcade again, and we're going to be heading over to the southern part of Los Santos into Davis. Also, I know it's bad that I'm just now remembering, but if you haven't done so already, make sure to purchase back your Duco Death, because the mission after this one is when you're going to really want it. And of course, we have the garage space for it now with the agency. So once you've purchased it and it's been delivered, make sure to call it in, because whatever vehicle you have currently called into your name will be the one that you spawn the next mission with. But here we are arriving at Davis. This is just a big shootout mission. Now, I don't know the exact strategy behind it. It does end if you kill nobody, but I do believe it will go faster if you do help fight. So do your best, but also just stay safe. There's no life limit, so you can die, but there's really no need to. All right, you can see the police helicopter has shown up, and once that happens, usually the mission is about to move on to the next phase very shortly. Not before I die, though. But yeah, now you can see it says follow Vernon down there, which means we don't need to fight anymore. We won't be shot at by any of the enemies. We will be by cops if there are any around, but usually there's not many. Are we going to make it? Oh, close one. Wait, where's Vernon? Vernon didn't fucking make it. Dude, oh, I hate this guy so much. He teleports into cars and can't run past trains. My guy, what? Now he's coming back this way. This mission's really glitchy. Now would be a pretty good time to call in your Duke of Death, though, because you're going to need to drive away after this mission as well. So having a vehicle near you is useful. So all of these missions, there are 2 different locations, I think, and they all lead to a garage like this. Vernon's going to interrogate someone. You have nothing really to do here. Just wait it out, and then you can leave.
Okay, y'all, we're done here. I'll be in touch with Franklin when we good to move.
All right, time to leave, not hop up on the car. What are you doing? Okay, I wasn't even near the garage there. That makes sense. Yeah, but now we're gonna have to leave the area. That's why having your car here is quite nice. Helps you get away quicker. So just get in that bad boy and start heading back to your agency. So one thing to mention, for the finales of all of the data leaks, it works more like an actual contractor mission. You're gonna click start and be sent into an actual mission screen rather than being in the sort of free world like the other missions. This means we're gonna have lives, so you cannot die more than twice, I believe, or more than once on hard mode, which I believe you only get hard mode after you do the contract once and redoing it within a certain amount of time. I don't exactly know how it works, but you don't need to worry about that for now. All you need to know is that you can't die more than twice, otherwise the mission will restart. And this is also why I told you to buy your Duke of Death and bring it in before this mission, because it will spawn right here rather than having to go outside and call it in. It saves a few seconds at most, really. Now, the contract in general has a lot of little strategies, tips, and speedrun methods that can help you complete these missions faster. I'm going to be showing these all to you in the video. Whether you choose to follow them or not is completely up to you. They do require a little bit more skill at times, but I think once you try them a few times, you'll be able to get it down pretty easily. For this first mission, what you need to do is once you get slowed down here by the game, it automatically does it. Keep driving past. You don't want to slow down too much. You want to keep going as fast as you can. And then once you get to this intersection with the houses here, you want to turn right into the backyard, crash up against this building, get out your sticky bombs, climb up on your car, and then climb up on the roof. And you want to throw a sticky bomb right to the left of this blue van and right to the left of this, like, lowrider car. Then just wait out, get your weapon out, and just chill. You enter a cutscene right here, but once you're in this cutscene, you gotta wait through it, unfortunately. But once you're out of it, you can still blow up those sticky bombs, which will just speed up the combat section of this mission by a little bit. So there we go. Now we can just run out, take care of the enemies. The way I like to do this mission is just running head on. But if you're not as confident with your combat, you can just sit behind the trash cans or the other cars and chill like that. The next strategy for this mission is what's going to happen after the next cutscene. You're going to want to be in first person. You need to be in first person for this, otherwise it really doesn't work that well. Okay, once the enemies have all been killed, you get this little cutscene where the lead Vargas member jumps into the car. As soon as you get control of your character, you need to turn around 180 and try and shoot him. Yeah, there you go. If you have the auto aim on, which is a feature in GTA, it's a lot easier to lock onto his head. If you do it correctly, you'll be able to get the car much earlier than you normally would, and you can drive it back. If you don't manage to get it in time, you're just gonna have to get in your vehicle and chase the car down and shoot him that way. But this like saves like at least a minute, I would say, maybe 2. So it's good to practice it if you can. Now from here on out, you're gonna have a couple of Argus chasing you, but really just drive back to the agency and that's the first data leak complete. And here we go, Southern Central leak complete. Now, once you complete any of those finales, you're gonna get a bonus $100,000 for the first time of completion, which like I said, we're gonna be getting a lot of first time bonuses throughout the contract and it's just quite nice. Also, the other good thing is after you complete specifically the finales, so the Southern Central leak finale, the Nightlife finale, and the High Society finale, you're gonna be able to go right back into your agency and start up the next mission. You don't need to wait for a phone call for this one specifically, just good to let you know. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be moving on to the Nightlife leak second, same as the South Central one, 3 different missions, 2 setups I guess, and a finale. And the first mission is taking us over to a nightclub, as it says in the title. So you're going to be told to go to one of 2 different nightclub locations, but they're both the same on the inside, so that doesn't matter too much. The other one's a little bit further away, but it's not terrible. Now, once you get inside, it is going to be a stealth section. Now, the way to do this should be easy, but I've been messing it up a lot recently. The basic guide is you don't need to kill any of the guys out here on the right. Wait for this guy to move in, then you can quite easily kill him and his friend. Now, this next part is the thing I've been messing up a lot. If you can see on the minimap there's one guy moving. He is on the upstairs corridor. The 2 guys in the middle there are downstairs. What you want to do is wait for the guy upstairs to be facing the other way before you go through this door. So wait for him to go the other way. Then you can quickly walk around, look up to these stairs and jump up. If you do this correctly, you should be able to get inside here without being spotted. Kill these guys, then come over to this side of the desk, steal the security tape. Now, the difficult thing is waiting for this guy to not see us again so we can go down. So he's looking at us, he's looking at us, he's looking the other way. We should be good to go now. If the door lets us, thank you. And just come back down the way you went up, climb over these stairs. And they did see me that time. That's a bit unfortunate, but the mission's pretty much done. So we can just run to the exit. Might have to shoot these guys if they get you a bit too low, but I can just leave. So yeah, I messed it up a little bit, but that's the general strategy you want to use. If you want to be a little bit safer, just kill them. It's not too difficult. Once you get outside though, you're gonna have enemies on you. That's why I recommend using the Duke of Death for this mission as well. Or if you have an Oppressor Mark II already and you're for some reason watching a starter guide, just take that and you can fly away before they hit you. Just gotta deliver that tape to the agency and then the mission is done. All right, moving on to the second mission. Now this one has some more speedrun tech. Now typically the mission is going to tell you to go to Puerto del Sol Marina. And yes, you have to say it like that, to go ahead and board a little boat that will give you the location of a yacht. Now you can skip that entire process by going to your agency front desk here and asking to exit via helicopter. If you have your own Oppressor Mark II or own helicopter you'd like to use, you can do that as well, but this is just very easy. Now, once you get outside here, the yacht that you need to go to is going to spawn in one of 3 locations every single time. It is either going to spawn around here, sort of like north of this western beach. It's going to spawn here, sort of between the airport and that location I just showed, or it's going to spawn south of the airport. It's always going to be in one of those 3. So what you can do is just fly out to the ocean and take a look-see. Take a gander and see where it is. You do want to be very vigilant about looking because sometimes part of the yacht is invisible. There's not much you can do about that. The game is just weird sometimes, but you will see it as long as you get close enough. So I usually come out to these 2 locations first because you can see them both from the same point. I just fly out, keep looking left and right constantly, waiting to see something, and it really is just a judgment call. But if you get relatively far out and you've not seen one here, it's probably south of the airport, so I'd recommend going over there. And as you can see, there it is, and it's kind of half invisible. Like I said, sometimes it is just a bit of a bitch to find, but as long as you keep looking hard enough, you will get there. Now, once you get relatively high above it, you're just going to want to jump out, otherwise you'll get blown up by the yacht's air defenses. Parachute down and do your best to land on top of it. If you do land in the water, it is what it is. It's just going to be a little bit slower to complete the mission. What I like to do is get to around there, pull out the parachute, and you want to try and land on this white roof here. And then once you're up here, if you haven't been spotted, you're doing very well. You can drop down to the side here. Just do it slow. Oh. Hello. Goodbye. You can do it very chill. Like that, and you can kill the guy at this door. And the reason why coming up here first is really good because you can just go into this building here, or into this room here, the captain's deck, kill the guy standing there. And now you can unlock the main cabin door, which you're going to have to do anyways. So if you do come up from the bottom of the boat, you do have to come up to this room. Just doing it this way, you can get to it first. Once you disable or unlock the door, come over to the right side and disable the air defenses, because we're going to be, as you know, you don't need to do this anymore. Sorry, I've changed my strategy. Do this if you want to feel more safe. You don't necessarily have to though. Now we just go back outside and they have spotted me now. So we gotta fight them. Just do your best to kill everyone. There's a lot of shotguns in this boat, so a lot of damage. Just always heal up when you feel you're low. Should be one more guy around this corner. There we go. Now we can head inside. Now you just need to go ahead and check all the rooms for a magazine that shows the Diamond Casino. I'm going to come upstairs first. You can go any way you want, really. Yep, there's usually a magazine there. There is not, or a newspaper, evidence, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it is in this room. There's also one location in the room to my left, I believe. But yeah, once you find this, go ahead and take a photo of it, send it to Amani. Now what you can do is take a sticky bomb or any explosive that kills you. Go ahead and commit suicide. In game, of course. And you'll spawn out on a little dinghy. Well, not a dinghy, a sea shark, a jet ski. Jet ski? Is that the name? Yeah, it is. And you can just drive away. You can have helicopters on you, but as long as you drive fast enough, they won't really kill you. Then once you get far enough away, you'll be able to finish the mission. And even though you have to wait for a call from Amani, I'd still recommend switching session after this back to your agency, just so you escape the helicopters and get back to land. So mission passed, go ahead and find a new session, invite only, and we can move on to the third mission. So time to move on to the Nightlife Data Leak finale. Now this one's a little bit more simple than the South Central one. Not really as many speedrun tricks, just a simple all-out combat mission. So you're gonna have to come over to the Diamond Casino for this mission and drive into the garage at the bottom. Once you get here, simply head up the elevator and into the penthouse. It's a pretty simple walk, just go out here to the left and follow around where all the guards are, like so. Now, if you want a slight speed boost, walking in first person is ever so slightly faster, and as you can't run in this, it's kind of the best option you have. Once you reach the DJ deck, once you reach the DJ jet, holy man, there's something wrong with me. Once you reach the DJ deck, you can go ahead and steal his laptop, or attempt to at least, and get hit over the head with a bottle of beer. You know, good attempt from me. Then you simply just need to mow down the enemies and make your way. Okay, I don't know why I always said that, woman. I promise I'm not sexist. You just need to make your way outside of the nightclub. So come out the door here and basically just go back the way you came. All right, once all the guards are dead, hit the elevator, head downstairs, and just continue on the fight. Come downstairs, kill the guy. You don't have to, but I think you're not a good person if you don't. Then you have two options to leave. It's better to go back this way to the garage, because you can just pick up a vehicle from inside there and head back to the agency. Vehicle choice, of course, completely up to you. You can go with the closest one, or you can go with the fastest one, which is always the cheetah. And there we go. Second data leak final done. So now it's time to move on to the final data leak, the High Society leak. Now, out of all of the data leaks, this one has the most amount of speedrun tech. So follow along if you want to save a bunch of time. Now, starting with the first mission, the country club, what you're going to want to do is come down and back to your front desk agent again. And with the SUV service, which is the third option here, you're going to want to go over to Chumash. As you can see, you get a little cutscene and the game will spawn you over at Chumash. Once you're here, I'd recommend going ahead and calling in your fastest vehicle, which for us at the moment is the Hakutu Drag. Then just head over to the country club. Now you're gonna have to go to one of these keypad locations. One is to the right there and one is back here. Don't worry about alerting the cameras. There's only 4 guards inside and they're not difficult to take care of. Just come up to the keypad, go ahead and hack it. Quick little number hack. There we go. Come inside. Kill the security guards, then head to any one of the 4 computers inside. Typical hack, my computer, external device, brute force. Fail the first one because it's a ritual. It's not, I just failed them. Not bad. Okay, I need to stop speaking focus. Give me a sec. There we go. Once you've done that, run to the exit door. Now, the second Amani starts speaking, go ahead and call Simeon. It will skip all of her dialogue and you can go outside instantly. That saves you like 10 seconds, which is very nice. Then you're going to get a search location for a limo. This time we got that one. So just go ahead and drive on over there. Now within these yellow circles, there are 3 different locations the Hummer limo can spawn. If you drive around enough, you'll find it. But yeah, this is the one it is. And for this one, what you want to do is go ahead and shoot the driver, then recover his wallet. Because if you don't shoot him, you have to follow around the limo to a house. It takes like an extra 5 minutes. It's very slow. Just go ahead and kill the guy much faster. But yeah, once you get that, all you need to do is go back to the agency and mission is done. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so now moving on to the second mission in the High Society League guest list. Now, personally, this is one of my least favorite missions in the game. It just ends up being a bit difficult at times. It's not overly ridiculous, but I feel like it has one of the most potentials for mess ups. So just be careful. Now, what you want to do for this one, again, is go to the agency services and exit via helicopter. You can easily do this with your bike or car as well. I just find this to be faster. And similar to a lot of missions, you're going to be given one of 2 locations to go to. This time we got the one in Vinewood Hills. Now, the great thing about having the helicopter is you don't have to land. So once you get to around here, just jump out and we're going to be parachuting down at this house because we're going to be going up right here. Now go ahead and get your suppressor out, makes it a little bit easier. And we're going to be looking for a guy with a yellow shirt. And the guy with the yellow shirt, you're not going to want to kill. If you kill him, you will fail the mission. So just be careful. Go ahead and take out all the guards as, you know, safely as possible. Sometimes they're a bit annoying. That's not the guy in the yellow shirt, by the way. That's just a civilian. You can kill him if you want. Up to you, really. As you can see, that's the guy there. Just do not shoot him because, again, it will fail the mission. Go ahead and kill everyone else, though. Like so, and then switch to the stun gun that's been supplied to you for this mission. Go right next to the guy, stun him, then right click to pick him up and put him in the boot of the car. Now, all we need to do is drive back to the agency. We're gonna have some enemies chasing us, but as long as you drive sort of well, you can get away from them. What I like to do in this location is drive through this gate here. You do get stuck a little bit and I might die. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. And just drive off the side here. Gonna go ahead and heal up. And if you've done that correctly, you will probably be able to get away without the guys catching back up to you. If they do, just a simple situation of shooting them, try not to die, really. Deliver the car to the agency garage, and that's another mission done. So now we get to move on to the final data leak mission, the High Society Leak finale. Now, I do believe this is probably the most difficult mission in the contract. It also has one of the biggest time saves in the whole entire game. So you're going to want to watch exactly what I do to make sure you get it. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting like 5 to 10 minutes. So the game's going to tell you to drive over to the billionaire's mansion. Now, it's going to tell you to go to the sort of rear entrance, I guess, at least from the way we're coming. However, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to come to the front entrance here, this first one you come across, and shoot out this bottom white panel. Once you do that, ram to the gate and it will open for you. Now, what you can go ahead and do is park this car next to these 2 supercars here. Get out, kill the guard, put a sticky bomb on this orange car here and this limo. Then go ahead and start firing homing launchers or rail guns or whatever you have into the middle here. If you don't have anything like that, just throw sticky bombs and grenades into here. You basically just want to blow up as many cars as you can as soon as you can. So once you have a bunch of the cars destroyed, go ahead and walk out. Make sure to shoot the enemies that are shooting at you. Once you get to this middle section here, your gun's going to be taken away. So make sure to just get it back out. Kill all the guys. Now make your way up this left staircase here and then climb up to this little balcony section. You'll be pretty safe here as long as you hide behind cover and shoot all the enemies. You'll be pretty good. Now in a couple seconds here, we'll start to get a progress meter on the bottom right of our screen that will tell us how much damage we've done basically to the billionaire's mansion. Yep, there you can see there's the intimidation bar. What you want to do is get that to max, of course. There's going to be one helicopter here that's going to be useful to blow up. We missed that time, but I can probably free aim it maybe. Nope, missed that. Okay, don't free aim it if you want to live. And there we go. Once it's filled up, you're going to get a cutscene. Now, this is the reason why we bought the Heavy Sniper Mark II way back towards the start of the video. Obviously, it's just useful in general, but this mission, it helps you speed up. So what you need to do is as soon as you get control of your character, switch to your Heavy Sniper Mark II and start aiming at the helicopter. You're going to want to start shooting it as fast as possible and be accurate, of course. You want to try and hit all your shots because if you do, as you can see, the helicopter is dead. Now what you can do is go ahead and just kill yourself and fail the mission by doing this. It's not very intuitive that this would be a strategy to do the mission faster, but it is, because as long as you have blown up that helicopter with enough sniper shots, you can go ahead and restart the mission here and it will skip you forward to a further point onwards inside the mission. So R2 to restart, or whatever button it is on your console or PC. And as you can see, we're going to be taken up towards near the military base. Now I messed up a little bit here. It's probably good to get your Duke of Death back. I got my Hikuchu drag because I just forgot to change it, but this should be fine as well. So you just need to come over to this little peninsula here, kill the billionaire, run him over. get his phone, and now we need to head back to the agency. Now, there are 3 different ways you can do this. You can just drive back normally, you can go inside the military base and steal a jet, or occasionally, this doesn't happen every single time, but occasionally, if you drive along the beach along the left side here, there will sometimes be either a helicopter, like you see here, or a plane further along that you can go ahead and steal. So this is a really good way to get back to your agency. So as you can see, we have enemies on us, but we're going to be getting away without them really doing much to us. Then once you're somewhere in your agency, just go ahead and jump out, parachute back down, and that is the mission done.
That was the last copy, right? Bravo.
Very graceful. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the final 2 missions both take place in this yellow circle here in the agency, so go ahead and start it up. Now, this mission is relatively simple, but quite difficult. The game's going to tell you to collect Dre's car. You do not need to do that. What I'd recommend doing is get inside your Duke of Death or armored vehicle of choice. The Vigilante is really good for this mission if you do have one. But basically, just get in the car and drive over to Dre's studio, which is a couple of streets over to the left. You can just watch the video here if you don't know where it is. Once you're here, you're just gonna have to kill a bunch of enemies before you're allowed to go inside. So running them over is a pretty quick way to do it. You know, whatever tickles your fancy. Explosives are always good. Okay, I don't want it to blow up my car. It's annoying. Good. Oh, my car's gonna blow up. God damn it. Oh, well, it's fine. It is what it is. All right, once you've got the guys outside, heal up, go inside. Would highly recommend doing this section in first person. Makes it a lot easier. Now, this part of the mission, if you haven't done it before, it is very annoying. Enemies will constantly spawn behind you, run up on you, and you just need to be very aware of where everyone is. Make sure to heal up a lot, use your snacks, your body armor. Just be very vigilant because it can get quite tricky at times. And pay very big attention to your mini-map because, like I said, they will spawn behind you, so you need to watch out for that. As you can see, it's already happening. There we go. Come into this room. A few guys here. Now, what you can do is throw a sticky bomb into this room. Or try to. And there's another guy in this door. Nope, there is. Yeah, so I threw a sticky bomb in this room because there's a guy that stands behind there. Now we need to just kill that guy and kill that guy. Now we need to go all the way back around because more people have spawned back here. And there we go. Mission is complete. Now we just have to watch the longest cutscene in the game, or one of them. Fortunately, once you do this mission once, you can skip this, but at least for the first time, you have to listen to the entire thing. So now time to move on to the final mission for the contract. Now this one is pretty simple. Honestly, one of my favorite missions. Again, it has some more speedrun strategies that I'll walk you through to make it a little bit faster, but overall it's a pretty easy mission in my opinion. So once you spawn in, go ahead and get in your vehicle of choice. You can use the agency car here or your own, and you're going to want to drive over to the train yard, almost near where the freak shop is. Now once you get around here, you can... Okay, did I just jump through my door there? What the hell just happened? Pull out a sniper rifle and just shoot in the general direction of these guys here. That will trigger a cutscene and you'll be teleported into a train cart. Now all you have to do is kill the enemies, not with the sniper, that's not ideal. Just kill the enemies as you go. You can use your RPG or homing launcher on that. Just do this as quick as you possibly can. Last car. Now, once you're done with this section, get back in your vehicle and drive over to LSIA. Now, once you get to this location, there is another really big time save little trick I'm going to show you. But first of all, we need to walk inside here. Kill these 2 guards. With a suppressor, ideally, doesn't change too much, but it means these guys are less reactive to you. Kill them, then maybe get out your combat MG, which is a bit more powerful. Kill these 2 guys. Then you want to blow up this tankard on the left, this big oil tank. Just shoot at it until it explodes. If you want to be really safe, take out a few enemies near you as well. Okay, I don't know why they just fucking died. Yeah, just take out a few enemies right near you. Now what you want to do is line up your character far to the left of this tankard and jump. Make sure you're in third person. If you do it in first person, I'm not sure if it doesn't work, but it's much harder to do. And you can basically just jump over, skip the entire section that you usually have to go through and come over here. Once you get around here, there's going to be a guy that spawns. Kill him so he doesn't kill you. Now you can get shot a lot at this place, so maybe smart to kill some of the enemies. Oh, that's Johnny. I've never seen that before. Oh my god. So Johnny usually spawns up here. I didn't realize he actually like ran from down there to get to you. But yeah, once you get up here, you can kill him, or just not kill him, but just shoot him until you can right click on him. And that's the mission done. At least this part of it. We have to drive to a country club, but there's no more combat. So yeah, the regular way you do that mission is you go around the right side, you kill a bunch of enemies. There's a lot of combat, much bigger chance of dying. If you follow that way, much simpler. So I'd recommend you trying to learn that. Saves a bunch of time and it's just really easy. So once you're done with the cutscene, you're going to be put into Dre's car. You're going to drive him back to the country club, and that's all. That is mission finito, contract donito. Yeah, that's it. And there it is. Now, if you want to have a bit more fun and entertain yourself, I'd recommend knocking Dre over. It's entertaining. It's my reward, personally. I don't care about the money. I just want that. But as you can see, mission passed, contract done, and that's $1 million for the final mission. On top of all the other bonus cash we got throughout the contract, I'm pretty sure it's around 1.75 million for the first time completion. Now, every contract you do after this will only be about 1 million, maybe 100,000, because you do get some money after the missions, maybe 1,050,000. Basically $1 million every time if you want to just keep the math simple. But yeah, after that, we're sitting at 1.797 million, and we need to do a little bit of money making before we move on to our final thing for the video. So, what is that? Of course, it's the Perico heist. Of course, the Perico heist needs a Kasatka, which is 2.2 million. So if you follow this guide to the absolute T, you're going to need to go ahead and get around $400,000 to go ahead and be able to purchase this. You can go ahead and do another Cluckin farm raid. You can go ahead and do some more KnoWay missions. Up to you completely. But we're going to go ahead and get that money. Then I'm going to meet you at the Diamond Casino, which is where we can start the Perico heist. All right, guys, once you have your $2 million, you can head over to the music locker at the Diamond Casino. If you're unaware of where that is, it's here. But once you get here, walk over to the music note symbol. You're going to be coming inside this room here, and this is where you're going to meet Miguel Madrazo, who is going to give you the ability to purchase the Kasatka, which is obviously needed for the Perico heist. So go ahead and pay $150 entry fee, and then just come around here, down the spiral staircase, then walk into this back section, watch an extremely long cutscene, which there are many for the heist, so get used to that. All right, cutscene finally over. But now once we're back, oh, hi Dre. Now once we're back outside, we can go ahead and purchase our Kasatka. So go over to the Warsaw cash and carry site. Kasatka, $2.2 million. Now later on in this video, once we complete the Perico heist, I would recommend everyone to buy the Sparrow. It's 1.8 mil, but it is one of the best vehicles in the game for getting around the map and also just for doing the Perico heist. It's extremely useful. But of course, we're not going to have it for this first run through, but like I said, useful in the future. So let's go ahead and purchase that. I put the Scottish flag on it for no reason. I just kind of forgot to change it to Australia. Shout out my Scots. Hope you guys do well in the World Cup. Big up McTominay, my boy. But now we need to go over to our Kasatka. Best place to do that is just over by the beach here. After the first time you get into it, you can of course use the preferences to teleport to it, but you can't do it before you've been to it. So we need to just go there first, watch some more cutscenes because, I mean, you should expect it at this point. And then we can get started with the heist. So once you get to the beach, go ahead and go down to your service vehicles, Kasatka, and call that bad boy in. And if you don't have a helicopter already or a boat that you can use, you actually get a free one with the Kasatka. So similarly, go back down to it and request a dinghy. It will spawn basically right next to you, and it's a very useful way to get to and from the Kasatka before you get, you know, the Sparrow or a Oppressor Mark II or something of the like. And there's our boy. So once you reach your big, beautiful, black, long submarine and get up, can we climb it, please? Mate, thank you. Just go to any one of the 3 entrances, head inside, and we'll meet our boy Pavel. All right, now once you're back in control of your character, we can go ahead and start up the Perico setup mission. So come up to this big board, you'll spawn right in front of it. You need to register as a boss, CEO, motorcycle club president, doesn't really matter which one, up to your preference. And then go ahead and begin planning. Now, the first Perico heist you do, you're not gonna have to pay any setup costs, but every time after this, I believe it's $100,000. So you're just gonna make sure you're a bit stocked up before you go. Now, the first one is gonna take us over to LSIA. Again, every single time you do this mission afterwards, the first setup mission is going to be located on a beach somewhere in the north of the map. I believe there's one location around here, one location around here, one around this lake, and I think one at the very top of the map. But this first one, we get to go to the airport, which is a little bit nicer. So we're going to be coming over to this Pegasus hangar on the right side of the airport, or like top right, I guess, or bottom left. If you're looking at the map, you know what I mean. There's a waypoint. You don't need to tell me. Yeah. You know where it is. But as usual, a long cutscene, then we're going to get to Perico, do a bit of driving, then another cutscene. This heist is just brilliant for time. I feel so efficient right now. All right, now that we're on Perico, we get in the Winky. I didn't realize that was the name of this vehicle. Horrendous. We got to drive El Rubio and Davey to the beach party though, and then once we're there, we finally, after, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, get to start the heist properly. All right, that should be the final cutscene for a while, but we still have to wait around on this beach for a couple of minutes before we're allowed to leave. So have some fun, hit the stanky leg, you know, do what you want to do, have a good time. All right, there we go. The guard that stands by the gate is finally moving. It really does take a deceptively long time for him to actually start moving, but now we can finally leave outside this gate and get started into the scope out mission, which you want to follow this video exactly, maybe even look up some extra resources if you're really not sure and struggling, but there's a few things you absolutely need to do to make sure the heist is as easy and profitable as possible. So first of all, there's going to be a general sort of tutorial or setup that you have to follow no matter what. Initially, Pavel is going to tell us to go to the front gate of the mansion, which is down on this side of the island, which means we need to pass through this checkpoint that has a bunch of cameras and guards. The main advice I give you is if you're really not sure about how or where they're looking, just take a bit of time, stand outside of their vision, and just look at their cones there, the vision cones they're looking at. If you stand, you'll roughly understand the rotations, and then you can quickly move through when they're not looking. I'd recommend hiding around here, wait for this guard that's walking along this path to move up a little bit, and then once he doesn't see you, you should be able to move around this way a bit. Now, you can absolutely pick up the car there if you want to. However, it's definitely going to be more risky. So at least for this first run, I'm just going to take the easy path of walking around the side here where there are no guards. It's going to take a little bit longer, of course, but it's a lot safer. So I like cutting across this big road here, running up this way. This is also pretty much the path you're going to be following when you actually do the heist after the first attempt. So good to kind of recognize where to go. Basically walking across these crop fields here, and we're going to be going sort of over this mountain here. Now, watch out for the sniper in the tower to our left there. You can just barely see him on the side. As long as you stay on the right side of the circle on the map there, you'll be fine. There will be a guard up here, but again, if you stay sort of towards the back, he's not really going to see you. I just want to come up here a little bit and check. Occasionally, there might be a bike that spawns here. I don't think so at the moment, though. That's fine. There's going to be another sniper in the building in front of us. So what we're going to have to do is actually take a left around here once we get past the sort of circle area, run down this way, and then make our way along the off-road area on this side. Honestly, you can probably even take the vehicle here. Not sure if it will spawn for all of you, but it's here for me, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Just make sure to go off-road. The roads have cameras and other guards driving around, so it's just not worth taking the risk, especially on your first time. All you need to do is go down here, get to around this tree line. The objective has been completed. Now we can start moving back to the cell tower that we were just at. So pretty much just retracing my steps completely here, going back up, making sure to dodge this guard that's here, and the entrance is around back. So driving, okay, can this camera stop looking up? I know where the tower is, game. I don't need to be looking at it. So wait for the guard to look the other way, climb on over, come in here. Now there's going to be a signal box you need to hack. Sometimes it's down on the ground floor. Otherwise, you're going to have to climb up the cell tower. And here it is on the first level for me. Go ahead and open that box. It's going to be a quick little math hack. 3 times 2. So once we get that done, don't worry, the guard down there can't see me. We open up our phone, go over to Sightseer. Now, in the Perico heist, if you're not aware, there are, I believe, 4 or 5 different types of primary loot you can get. Majority of them spawn in that glass case there. There's the pink diamond, the whiskey, the necklace. But for the first one, every single time you're going to be getting the Madrazo files, which are always going to be in this safe box right here. Now, the only other thing I will say is if you're doing this with a friend, you can look in these basement areas for gold, which is the best secondary loot to get. I'll see if I can go ahead and find one for you. But you also want to look in the office, because the office, as you can see there is a blank photo frame. If you get both photo frames, they're quite useful to get to speed up the process of the heist, but absolutely not necessary at all. There's some cash in the West Storage Cam 1. It's these rooms that can spawn the gold. Like I said, if you're doing this with multiple people, it's good to look here. If you're doing them just by yourself, then there's absolutely no need. You can't even get into the rooms by yourself without a glitch. There's the gold, like I said. But yeah, once you get basically the main office of El Rubio and the basement, you can go ahead and leave. Now we need to go ahead and continue up the setup. And because we're going to this north dock, which is actually closer to the beach, I would recommend going ahead and getting spotted here. It will teleport you back to the party and make things a lot quicker for you. And as you can see, we're right back here, which is very useful because we can go ahead and steal this car, drive up to the north docks, and continue with the scope out. So once you make your way over here, make sure to hide because there are some guards around here. Should be good now. We need to come over here and take a photo of just the general water area. Send that to Pavel. Then we can make our way around here and into this building. This is one of the secondary loot locations. You won't ever really be coming here in the actual heist unless you're doing a very different method than most people. But we got to do it here for the first time. Send that to Pavel. Then come right out here and pick up this wrench, or sorry, take a photo of this wrench, not wrench, bolt cutters. Don't know why I'm getting my tools wrong. We go ahead and get a quick little photo of that. Now, once you've completed those 3 things, you're free to do whatever you want on the island of Cayo Perico. And I would recommend scoping out 3 main more things, sorry. That is going to be the main dock here, which we'll go to in a bit. The southern drainage entrance to the facility or the compound, which is going to be around here. And then finally, it's going to be those 2 loot locations I was just mentioning earlier. The best and easiest way to do this is to go ahead and grab a boat and start heading south around to the compound. So once you see the back of the compound, drive up right to it. And once you're about, I don't know, 20 meters from the cliff, around about here or so, I'd say get out of your boat, jump into the water, and just swim towards this drainage tunnel, which is right here. And as soon as you get that message, you've scoped the compound entry point drainage tunnel, head back up to your boat of choice. Not into there. That's gonna kill you, mate. What am I doing? Can you get up? Like, I'm actually dying. Jesus. Don't do that. Don't drown. Drowning is not effective. And now we're gonna be making our way around to the main dock over here. All right, once you're at the main docks, go ahead and go in a little bit. Don't go too far because you don't want to get spotted, of course. I think around here should be good. Pull out your phone as usual. Take a photo of the general area and send that to Pavel. This is the place we will be entering when we start the heist finale. It'll actually spawn us back there or so, but it's the best spawning location really for the heist. Now that we're done with that, we're going to head back up to the airstrip at the north of the map. There are 2, I think, more things we need to do. 1 mandatory, 1 not. So just drive your boat up into the land. Now, what you need to do is run over to this big hangar here. This is where the majority of your secondary loot is going to be coming from. If there isn't enough, there's another location I'll go show you afterwards. Now, what I'd recommend doing is come over to the right straight away and climb up this ladder, because there are 2 locations in here, 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs. And what loot are we getting? 2 piles of cash. Not great. From memory, the level of loot, they all have different prices, basically. The best is gold, second being cocaine, third being weed, 4th cash, and I think that's it. I think that's the sort of ranking. Here we have some cash and weed. This would be enough to fill up our bag. It won't be the best loot in terms of overall profit, but it would be enough. As long as you fill up your bag every single time, you're doing good. If you don't get the best loot exactly, it's not going to be the end of the world. Getting the elite challenge bonus, which you need your bag full for, is always going to be useful. But what we can do now, just to go ahead and check, because maybe the other place has 2 lots of coke, and then we can make more money. What you want to do is drive on over, come into this little village, I don't know what to call it, and it's going to be this open building right here. There are going to be 2 more slots, and it's 2 more lots of cash. Wow, that is extremely underwhelming, but go ahead and take a photo of that nonetheless. Can't hurt. Now, there's only 1 more thing to go ahead and do. Take a photo of the control tower over further down the strip. So get real close to that boy, snap him, send to Pavel, and now we're ready to leave the island. I think you just come up to him and talk to him. Oh, hold up. Talk to him. Or not. Are you gonna let me? Okay, there we go. Return to Los Santos. That's everything you need to do the heist in the way that I'm going to show you. There are, of course, other loot locations, other ways to do the heist, but I believe that this method is the most effective and easiest for the majority of players. So you're gonna spawn back at the airport once you complete that first prep mission. However, what you can go ahead and do now is go to your preferences, set your spawn location to the Kasatka, and go ahead and teleport to it in an invite-only session. So you're gonna wake up downstairs in your bed. I'd recommend you make a quick sprinting dash upstairs, because no time can be wasted with GTA grinds. So with that done, we are ready to get into the more so setup missions rather than scope out missions. So come on over to the prep tab, go to approach vehicles, and we're going to be getting the long fin, which is by far the fastest and easiest one of the vehicle setups in my opinion. So definitely what I'd recommend going for. This mission is going to send you to one of the 3 Los Santos police stations. This time we got the La Mesa location, and we're basically just going to be stealing the boat from their driveway. Obviously we're in the middle of the ocean, so go ahead and get myself a dinghy that spawns annoyingly far away. Now, to actually steal the longfin, you're going to need to get a truck. Now, Pavel, after a couple of minutes, will send you the location of 3 different trucks. There's going to be one of the locations that has 2 of them and one of the locations that has 1. You always want to go for the location that only has 1, because rather than a regular truck, it's going to be the Phantom Wedge, which is a much faster, more powerful vehicle. I'll show you when I get the message, but that's basically the plan for this mission. All right, as you can see, once you sort of approach the police station, Pavel will send you those locations, and you can memorize these. They always always spawn at the same location for the correlating police station. So the La Mesa police station always has the Phantom Wedge at this location. There's only 3 different ones, so it's pretty easy to keep track of. I just personally kind of forgot. Now, the one slight downside about the Phantom Wedge location is that it is much more heavily guarded. There's going to be a guy on a minigun, so I'd recommend taking him down first, maybe with a sniper, just like that. So you're not going to have to deal with it. Then just get to cover and do combat as you usually would in any other mission. Cool. Once they're all down, get in the Phantom Wedge, head back to the police station. In the future, once you've built up a lot more money, you can actually buy this vehicle and just call it in when you're near the police station. Saves about 5 minutes per heist, which is pretty nice, but for now, getting it from there is pretty easy. Now, especially if you're a low-level account, make sure to go ahead and heal up and put on body armor before you head inside the police station. It's very rare you do die, but always better to be safe than sorry. It's relatively easy though. Just drive on in, then go ahead and turn your truck around because you need to back into the boat or back into the trailer. This is why it's pretty difficult to die, because the guys are going to be shooting the back of your truck for the most part, although it's still definitely possible, so you got to be quick. And there we go, trailer stolen. Now we just head back out the way we came in and start heading down towards the docks at the bottom of the map. However, once you're a little bit away, doesn't really have to be too far. I usually stop around about here for the La Mesa one. Go ahead and get out of the Phantom Wedge. Once you manage to brake, it's slow because it's the rain. Make sure you move relatively far away so you don't destroy it, but then just go ahead and blow yourself up. This will get rid of the cops and make the rest of the journey much easier. All right, as you can see, we got to deliver the long fin to the docks. Just an easy, chill ride back. All right, well, I said it was going to be an easy, chill drive. I don't know what the hell just happened. I think I somehow went under the car instead of over it. That's not great. How do I get out of this problem? I think the trailer will respawn if it's in an awkward location, but I don't know if the truck will. See, the thing here respawns, it's not a big problem. I just need to find a truck now. There should be one over here, I think. That was nearly bad. Now I just got to turn into here, crash the gates because they don't open otherwise. And just like with every other mission, we simply gonna go ahead and find a new session and teleport back to our Kasatka. All right, so now with that done, we can move on to the second setup mission, or I guess the third setup mission. The second setup, the third, including the scope out, you know what I mean. And that is going to be the equipment tab. Now in here, there are 3 things we need to grab. It is going to be the safe code, the fingerprint cloner, and the cutting torch. The demolition charges are not needed for the way we do the heist. They will also make the finale aggressive and more difficult. So just don't do these unless you absolutely want to. We only need to do these bottom 3. So let's start off with the safe code. So for this one, we're going to have to head over to the casino. Once again, just call in our dinghy from the Kasatka and slowly head over there. Also, just to mention, I haven't actually recorded in a few days. I'm recovering from a cold. So if my voice sounds shit or I start coughing up my entire lungs, that's the reason why. So once you've arrived at the casino, you're going to want to drive up to the front door, not the garage like we do in the contract mission, but we are going to be going down to the garage anyways because we need to steal some keys or key cards to get up to the penthouse. Come into the left here over to this elevator and just head downstairs. Once you're here, you're going to be looking for a yellow car. It is going to be this one here with the sort of slanted roof back with the piss washer in the trunk. Open that and you're going to get just a key card, I think. Yeah, that key card right there. And now back to the elevator and we can head upstairs. Once you're up here, you're gonna need to search for the room that the guards are in. To be honest, can never figure out which way to go. I got it first time this time. Sometimes I don't get it first time. But once you find the room with the guards outside of it, take out a silenced weapon and kill them both in quick succession. If you don't kill them in like fast enough, it's fine. It's just gonna make the inside portion a little bit difficult, but it's not gonna be too bad. It's fighting enemies nonetheless. But once you get in here, my strategy I'd recommend is first come into the right here and go into this room because one of the spawn locations is here and he is. And we're looking for a guard. Pavel would have sent you a photo. It's this guy right here. He can be in this room. If not though, you just want to head back through these main doors and he'll be on this side of the penthouse. One of the other locations he can be is in here. And yes, he is. If he's not here, he'll be further back, sort of where the DJ set is from that other mission we did. Yeah, just kill them. Make sure you kill the other guys so they don't kill you. And then you search the head security guard for the safe code. Just go through his body, you know, casually. Once you grab that, we can just run on out. And there will be some more guards here, so just be careful. Kill them off before they kill you, as usual. You can pretty much just run to the elevator and it'll teleport you down outside, get back on your vehicle, and now we're just gonna lose the cops. If you already have a helicopter, you can fly away. Otherwise, as usual, the best way to get rid of the cops in GTA is to go into the sewers. So just follow my pathing here, down inside, and once you lose the cops, I'm pretty sure you can just teleport back to Kasatka. You don't actually have to deliver the code to it. You can just collect it and go. Yep, just like I thought. heist prep complete, we can go ahead and switch sessions back to our submarine and get on to the next one. And next up is the fingerprint cloner. So go ahead and start that up. We got to go to a warehouse in the city. Annoyingly, oh, I spawned over here. Right, I forgot that happens if you teleport to your Kasatka when you're sort of on the right side of the map, you'll spawn here. Although it's not too bad, we can actually just get our ding and just go from this side. It's not ideal, but there is a pathway here, as you can see. So I'm just going to take that. Again, this heist becomes a lot easier once you get access to the Sparrow, which is that helicopter that gets stored inside the Kasatka. You can just fly everywhere, which is obviously a lot faster than taking a boat. And we should be able to purchase that after the first completion of Cayo Perico. Of course, I'll show that to you when we finish the heist. And once you're here, though, there are 3 different locations, but around each of the locations is going to be this fuse box around one of the sides of the building. Go ahead and disable that, which will disable the security cameras outside. You don't absolutely have to, but it just makes it a little bit simpler. Then once you do that, we're going to want to head inside. I'd go into first person if I were you, but you know, personal choice. Then we take out the guards. I'd get a little bit closer because there are 2 here that are a bit annoying to deal with. As you can see, they do a bit of damage, so just be careful. Then you need to come up to this laptop here, wait for Pavel to stop yapping. Then we can hack the laptop. Nice, done with that. Now we get to head over to another location to pick up the fingerprint cloner. So once you're at your destination, again, 3 different spots. Just want to run over to wherever the door is, take out the security cameras from a good distance away. There we go. There we go. Now we just need to head downstairs. We won't have any enemies on us. The key card, or the fingerprint cloner, sorry, will always be at the back of the room. So run very slowly over because your character's incapable of more speed, apparently. And it will be on either this long desk here or one of these 2 desks. You'll see it flashing with the green arrow. Once we've done that, we got to deliver it back to the Kasatka. And that is that mission done. Fingerprint cloner delivered. Now we can move on to the final one of the equipment setups. We still have weapons to do as well before the finale. But the final equipment we need is the cutting torch. This one, we need to go to a construction site. I think there are, I want to say 4, maybe 5 different locations for this. They're all in the city, just different construction sites around that you've seen before probably. And for this one, we got the most annoying one. Awesome. That's great. The reason why it's most annoying, at least at the moment, is because it's on top of that tall construction building that has been under construction for 13 years. And without a helicopter, we have to go up the elevators, which is a much slower thing to do. However, there might be a solution. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if you come over to this airspace hangar, there will be helicopters that spawn here sometimes. I think you might have to be a certain level, but if you follow this guide, you'll be around level 30 and there will be one that spawns here. So we can take this instead of having to waste money, which is fantastic. So yeah, we're just going to the very top of this construction site here. And there is a way to do this mission stealthily, which I'd highly recommend following because doing it without stealth is just a lot of combat unnecessarily. And if you're low level with low health, if you're bad at the game, it becomes very annoying. So at every single construction site in the game while doing this mission, before you get into contact with the enemies, there will always be a construction hard hat laying around somewhere. If you are at a different construction site than me, maybe you just want to do a quick Google or YouTube search to figure out where it is, but they're usually at the very front, so they're difficult to miss. And I think also if you wait long enough, Pavel will put a point on your map showing where it is. But go ahead and put that hard hat on. As long as you walk around somewhat inconspicuously, you won't get spotted. Like, don't just have your gun out and smash into people randomly. Now, all you need to do while at the site is go around looking for these boxes with the green arrows on them, and you need to look for a blue cutting torch. And you also don't have to worry about the guards looking at you while you're picking it up. They think you're a construction worker, so don't even worry about it. But once you're done, head back up to your helicopter. You could also just parachute down if you wanted to, but I just prefer doing this. So we're going to need the helicopter again for the next mission. So what I'd recommend doing is just landing it on the beach over here near where your dinghy is, so you have quick access to it once again. And it shouldn't despawn. If it does, it is what it is. Just have to go get another one. All right, that is delivered. Now onto the final prep mission before the finale. This is going to be gathering the weapons we need for the heist. And this mission can be annoying. First of all, we have multiple different things we can grab. I personally always go for the conspirator weapon layout. It's up to you. I just find this to be the best. Okay, we got the good location. What I was going to mention quickly is that for this mission, there are, I believe, again, 5 different locations you can get. One of them is called Merryweather HQ. If you get Merryweather HQ as your mission, go ahead, switch to a new session, spawn back in your Kasatka, and try again until you get a different location. Merryweather HQ takes you down to the docks, and you have to follow a helicopter all the way up to like Sandy Shores, kill a bunch of guys. The mission basically takes like 3 times as long as any of the others for no reason. Whereas all these other ones, all you have to do is, okay, what is going on with my map? Hello, thank you. With these other ones, all you have to do is go into the city, and it's just much quicker. So that's what I'd recommend for you doing. Yeah, if you get this one, hopefully our helicopter is still still there. I don't see it yet, though. Yeah, it looks like it despawned, didn't it? God damn it. I did say it is what it is, didn't I? You know what? I'm going to be lazy. Just give me the buzzard. I think the good thing about getting the buzzard is that even though it does cost 25k, it won't despawn if you go into the Kasatka. So that's a benefit if you have the money lying around. Really up to you. Now, the reason why I told you to get a helicopter for this mission is that you can actually go on the ground if you want to, but going on the ground will alert the guards and make the mission aggressive. However, going up to the roof, you can do it silently and just much easier. So this one, we're heading to 707 Vespucci, which should be this building. Yeah, this building. So as you can see on the minimap there are two different yellow dots. One is the ground entrance and one is the roof entrance. And if you can, always go to the roof entrance. It is just much easier. Now, once you get inside, you're going to want to take out the guards stealthily. Just follow my guide for how to do that in the best way possible. Okay. Don't follow my guide because I literally missed the guy again. Why is my shooting so bad? Even if you kill, you know, some of the guys in stealth and some of them you alert, it's still relatively easy. Yeah, just don't make that mistake like I did. My GTA gameplay isn't great. You know, I'm still recovering from the sickness. I'm down with it, some would say. So my skills are not ready to pay the bills at this moment. But yeah, once you kill the guards, go over to that gray wall, right click on it, or right D-pad on it, I should say. Then you're going to get a prompt to come over to the laptop and hack it. You're going to have to do one of these number hacks, which for me is right there. Now we can go ahead and open this gray wall, collect the guns, and leave. I will say, with doing it aggressive, no guards are going to come in for you afterwards. It's just the ones in here that will be alerted to your presence, so you don't have to worry about someone flanking you. And especially because you're upstairs, what you're going to want to do as soon as you finish, heal up just in case, then run back out to the elevator, and you're going to get two options. Read it very carefully. It's going to be right D-pad to go to the ground floor, left D-pad to go to the roof. So you're going to want to go to the roof again, get back in your helicopter as quick as you can. They're going to have helis on you, but as long as you get into yours as soon as you can and start flying away, you should be good. You also have missiles on this one, so you could go ahead and shoot them if you desire, but I think you're usually going to be faster, so it's not too much of a problem. And there we go. Get up, please. Get it, dude. If I get killed here, I'm going to lose my mind. Thank you. Okay, and with that done, all of the heist preps are complete and we can move on to the finale. Now, of course, there are other preps you can do in the heist technically that might make your life easier, like the disruption. You can have the guards have less weapons, armor, or air support. But if you follow my guide and do the heist as intended, you don't need any of it. Doesn't really make much of a difference. All we need to do now is wait for Pavel to stop explaining things to us that are unnecessary, and we can go ahead and start. So once you start, you'll be put into the heist screen, but don't worry, there's still one more confirmation and setup to go through in terms of like choosing your approach method. And that's going to be right here. So if you've followed how I've done it, you're only going to have one approach vehicle, which is the long fin. So go ahead and choose that. Then for the infiltration point, you're going to have two. It's going to be the main dock and the north dock. Both the two we scoped out. The main dock is the one we're going to be going for. For the compound entry point, you're only going to have one. It's going to be the drainage tunnel, which we scoped out. So go ahead and click that. Then the escape point doesn't actually matter because we're going to be jumping off the southern end of the island. So just go ahead and click whatever one you fancy. Then for time of day, I would recommend doing it daytime. There is practically zero difference between day and night in terms of the enemies being able to spot you. Nighttime just makes it more difficult for you to see, so there's no point doing it. Then finally, go ahead and go to your weapon loadout and press suppressors. Even though we didn't technically buy them in the previous segment, you can still access them. Just press it until the orange square is lit up and you'll have suppressors. I think it's a glitch. I don't think it's supposed to work like that, but Rockstar haven't fixed it, so it seems to be good. Once that is all set up, we can go ahead and start the heist. Okay, I don't know why I've gotten insane stormy weather. This is ridiculous. What is this? Okay, never mind that. We're gonna straight away go to the left here and head up to the airport. I don't know why I have the most distraught, disgusting weather of all time during this heist. This is ridiculous. What the hell's happening? I don't think I've ever had it storming in Cayo. Okay, that's cool. Well, either way, we're gonna be heading up to the airport here. You're gonna want to stop your boat in this sort of, I can't think of the geographical term for this body of water, but just stop it around here, because if you go too close to the shore, your boat will get beached and it'll just be a bit annoying. So yeah, that's a good spot to put it. And we're going to be running to that big compound sort of building that we scoped out earlier in the mission. So we're going to run quickly through this dense forest. Once we see this guard here, we want to kill him. My aim is really off today. My God. Don't worry though. There's no one else really around him. So even if you mess up like I did, you're not really going to get spotted. Just try and be better than me. I'm kind of shitting the bed. Now, once you're in here, there are two things you need to do. First of all, come down here, burn this lock, and go ahead and collect your highest valuable loot first. So like I said before, gold is the best, but if you're doing it solo, it goes cocaine, followed by weed, followed by cash, I believe. So that is the order you want to collect these things in to get the most amount of money. So weed first, then we'll move on to the cash over here. Now, once we're done with that, we're going to want to get onto the forklift over here, which is a bit of a nightmare of a vehicle, but we should be able to manage. Then we move over to this stack of crates, get it locked in the forklift there, lift it up, and we need to put these crates at max height right up against this wall here. And then with that, we can climb up over this fenced cage and get to the next loot location. And I think this stack of cash will get us to a max loot bag. Never mind. Good thing we have another one. Now, if you didn't end up getting full loot from this warehouse, you're going to need to go over to the other one over here. The way you do this is by killing the guard that walks down this pathway. You'll need to kill him when he's not in view of this camera. You can also shoot the camera down, kill him, then you need to shoot this camera. There'll be a guard sort of on a balcony over here, kill him, then go into this warehouse. There's multiple guides on YouTube for how to do that part of it, I'm sure. However, I'd say about 90% of the time, that warehouse has enough loot to get you full, so it's very rare you're actually going to have to go over there. But either way, once you're done getting your loot bag completely filled up, head back to the boat, and we're going to be going over to the compound. So if you remember, the compound is right at the southern side of the map. We're just going to be driving all the way down that way. So when you're around the compound entry point, go ahead and press the left on your D-pad. That will get on your rebreather. Get out when you're around here. Dive down to the drainage tunnel. Diving is R1 or RB on the consoles. Not sure what the button is on PC. Once you get to this grate here, we can use that cutting torch we picked up to get it off. Not in a sexual way, of course, just, you know, a literal sense. Now, once that's done, we're going to be swimming through the tunnel up to a little hatch. And now we are at the difficult part of the Perico heist. Inside the compound, a lot of stealth and careful movement needed. Again, if you follow what I do, you should be good, as long as I succeed, that is. And I haven't done this in a while, so we'll see how it goes. So the way I like to do this heist is first walk up here, kill this guard. You don't have to, but sometimes you get the key like that, so it's actually quite useful to do so. Now, what you want to do is you can hold down the sprint button. You don't want to be completely running. Sometimes you can. That was very close to me. Yeah, just follow the exact path I'm taking, and you will eventually get up to this area over here where the main building is. Now you're going to want to walk around here, then behind this guy and up these stairs. Go back and slow down the footage if that was a bit too fast or confusing. That's the exact route you want to use. If you go at a slower speed, the guards may be in a different place or looking at you. So just, you know, take cover, make sure they don't see you. Once you see this guy and melee him in the back of the head. He also picked up some gate keys. Sorry, the other guy dropped the key cards. This guy dropped the gate keys. The gate keys are useful, but they're not necessary. So don't worry if you don't get them. They just help you escape a little bit faster. But once you're up here, go over to this wall. It's a safe that has a bit of extra cash in it. Can be anywhere between, I think, like 10 and 100k. So we got about 50 that time. Come over to the elevator here, or it kind of looks more like a fireplace, but it is an elevator. And we're going to be doing a fingerprint cloner. Now, a lot of people get messed up on this, but it is actually extremely easy. All you need to do is count in order. So each fingerprint is in order. So this one, the top fingerprint, is the first in the sequence. If you can realize that this is number 1, if you click right on the D-pad, that is number 2. That is all you need to do for every single one. So look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are all just in order. All you need to do is count. You don't need to guess. It is extremely easy once you realize that. So again, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's just, or 1, 2, 3, sorry. Then again, go to the top fingerprint. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks confusing at first, but once you realize it's just completely in order, it's pretty damn basic. Sometimes you can mess up a little bit though. Yep, there we go. Once you've got that done, head down to the underground vault. For the safe variant of the loot, sometimes you get loot in there, but for the safe variant, Pavel will text you a code and you'll need to remember that. So if you have a bad memory, write it down. If not, just go ahead and remember it. So for this one, 288418. 288418. Now, if you have the gate keys, you're going to be following me this way. If you don't have the gate keys, you need to go back up the elevator and go down the way you came, making sure to avoid the guards. However, if you do have the gate keys, you can come over to this fingerprint cloner here, go ahead and do another one of these hacks, and then you can come out this gate here, up here to this gate, and use the gate keys to get out. Now, like I said, if you don't have the gate keys, it's pretty simple. All you do is come back down the stairway, go back exactly the way you came, making sure to avoid this guard, making sure to avoid the juggernaut, because sometimes he's around that area, and then leave. Now, if you do have the gate keys, you just want to come up this way, wait for that guard looking out to move. Actually, I don't think he sees me, to be honest. Come up this stairway, and you're going to be running to the northern compound door here. Now, there are 2 guards here that we need to wait for. Depending on your timing, this guy might not be close to you, and you also can kill him when he's around about here if you just want to be quicker, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Then run up to this yellow circle, hit right on the D-pad, and you'll be good to escape the compound. Now, we have one final task to do. That is to kill this guard by this bike, then steal the bike itself. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be escaping through the south of the island. So follow me down here, head to the right of this helipad, then turn back this way. That's just to escape that guard's vision. And we want to drive down to the end of this island here, this little part that's like bulging out basically. Once we get here, we go right into the ocean. We're going to be falling off our bike, dive down, put on your rebreather again, and we're going to be heading pretty much directly south this way. The best way to go is in this little like divot, ravine, I guess. El Rubio's helicopter will be on you, but as long as you're far enough into water, he won't be able to shoot you. And as long as you keep going this way with your rebreather on, eventually you'll escape. Doesn't even matter that a body's been found. It is all good. Just keep going until the UI fades away, which should happen very soon here. There we go. And that is the heist complete. Now, obviously, things can go wrong. You may do things slightly differently, which may have guards in different spots. Overall, though, if you follow that guide, you will complete it properly. If you need to go ahead and watch some other guides of people doing things slightly differently, feel free to. However, once you know how to do Cayo, it's relatively easy, even if you make a few mistakes here and there. Now, personally, if you do end up alerting the guards, I would recommend just restarting, like switching sessions and trying again from the start. It doesn't waste too much time, and it's probably the best thing to do. So there's the confirmation of the heist complete. We got a 1.44 mil take, and there's going to be an elite challenge on top of that, as long as you did it in under 15 minutes with no hacks failed and no deaths, I believe, no restarts, and full loot bags as well. That's why that's important. Now, the amount you get for this heist can vary a lot depending on your loot, unlike the contract, which is a consistent 1 mil, although Cayo Perico will almost always be over 1 million, usually between 1 and 1.5, depending on what you get. It's pretty good, although it has a 3-hour cooldown if you're doing it solo. So that is the downside. Now, like with almost all the other content in this game, we're going to be getting a first-time bonus for doing Cayo Perico. I can't remember how much it is. It might even be 1 million. We should see it in a second here. 200k. Sorry, yeah, $200,000 extra. Maybe even a bit more. Yeah, it definitely looks like more than that. It may be like 500k or something. It's a good amount extra. Put me over the $2 million mark, as you can see. And straight away, what I'd recommend everyone to go ahead and do is head over to your Kasatka, go to Moonpool Vehicles, and purchase the Sparrow. It's 1.8 million, so it's a big investment, but it will make, I'm actually going to go ahead and change this flag to Australia as well, but it will go ahead and make doing concurrent Cayo Perico runs and other content in the game just significantly faster. So we can go ahead to surface vehicles, Kasatka, and call in our Sparrow. As you can see, it's a personal helicopter that spawns wherever you are around the entire map. It's very quick, and the best thing about it is that you can store it inside your Kasatka. So instead of having to parachute out and land in the water, you just fly over your Kasatka, click right on the D-pad, and it goes inside. But yeah, with that, I think the guide is complete. We end up with level 31 on the account. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a Kasatka, we have an agency, a good HSW vehicle, a new helicopter, some nice Mark II weapons, and overall an amazing place to start a new account from. Now, if you want some guidance on where to go from here, 3 of the things I would personally recommend is going ahead and getting an auto shop and doing the missions from there, because 1, they are a good money maker, but the auto shop also allows you to customize all vehicles to max without having to actually level up. For example, you can get all the paint jobs or the max engine upgrades without actually having to get to level 100, which is how it used to work. I would also recommend going ahead and getting a nightclub, and with the nightclub, you can go ahead and get the Terabyte, which is where you store and upgrade the Oppressor Mark II, which, while it is $8 million, it is a very good goal to work towards. And the final thing, just have some fun. Buy some cars that you want to get. You can make good money now, so there may be some fun vehicles you want to try out. There may be some cool outfits you want to customize, or really just, buy a bunch of weapons and kill people. It's really up to you. That's the guide, guys. Hope you enjoyed GTA 5 for what is most likely the last year of it being the mainline GTA game that we're all playing. GTA 6 should be out this year, but hopefully this guide will help you enjoy this last bit of this incredible game that we all have a love-hate relationship with.